officially live.
Okay.
Okay. I think we're live now. Hello, everyone in the chat. We have quite a few people here. It looks like Red, Katie are here. A few others. If you're here, say something in the chat. So thank you for joining tonight. Oh, hey Jeff, what's up? I do have a guest here. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, everyone? It's me, Mitchell Mander here.
It's Mitchell Mander too.
Nah, I'm just playing. What's up, everyone? It's me, Pokemon Trainer Emerald.
Yep.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we got Emerald tonight. So we're gonna talk about some Pokemon. I'll be playing Unite in the background. I think Nick will be joining us. I think he's here. He's just busy with something at the moment, so he'll be joining for Unite with me. But it'll mainly be me and Emerald talking. Jeff, Mitchell Mander too. Oh, what's up, my friend? How was work for you this week, Jeff? Oh, hey, Lip Square, what's up? Give me All right. Wow. We'll be talking about Pokemon, and then it just becomes Unite completely after a while. This is crazy. 2 streaming powers unite. It is a pun. So anyways, guys, work's been crazy. A lot of Excel. Gotcha. Same here. I still need your assistance with my issue that I'm having. We can arrange something in the next week or so before the end of the year. But anyways, guys, the purpose of this live stream, I wanted to talk about my thoughts on Journeys. I got Emerald here. He can give his thoughts on the series and his perspective on things. And then talk about maybe a little bit of today's episode. I mean, I already did with my review, but we could talk about that for a little bit, and then the future for the series, because we got some interesting things going on in 2023. How does that sound to you all?
Works with me?
Alrighty. So, where do I begin? So, to me, I'll give this. Journeys is definitely a unique series. It's definitely different for the Pokemon anime. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting following up from Sun and Moon. I'll give it that. I do appreciate the series kind of changing its formula and trying different things. I will give it that. And one thing I will say that I did like in Journeys was it's very unpredictable. Just because you never know who's going to show up or like who's coming next. Because it'll be like, oh, which character is returning now? Oh, hey, Gary's coming back. Oh, hey, Iris is coming back. And then a few months later, oh, hey, look, Erica's back. Like that. That type of unpredictability I actually appreciated. How all those characters were handled, it's kind of up in the air, but, you know, it's hit or miss sometimes. I will say that it has been a bit of a roller coaster ride, probably more so than most other Pokemon series. There'll be good episodes, there'll be a stretch of good episodes and a stretch of bad episodes, and then going back and forth, but and there's some things I wasn't really satisfied with at the end, but overall, it's been an interesting ride these last 3 years. So, Mitchell, give your opinion on Ash's daughter. I mean, it's not confirmed. Personally, I kind of want to wait until we learn a little bit more about the new characters. Oh, wrong button.
You're the wrong button.
Oh, wow. I just want to wait for some more information to see if the character is Ash's daughter or maybe someone related. Some people were saying that the boy actually looks like Ghost's son.
I heard that too.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain how I feel about the
I don't
main
know.
offspring of like the previous main characters. Are you joining Lib Squared? Oh. Gotcha. What was I gonna say? I'll let you give your thoughts for just a minute, Emerald. I'm just setting up some stuff, so I'll let you. I'll give you the floor.
Okay. So for me, I gotta say, I know it's gonna sound a little negative. I don't really want to start like that, but I just gotta say it did not work the non-episodic format. You know, with it not being having a set story like the previous series. With it being, you know, just like one-off episodes for the most part, it had issues for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't want it, like, the few arcs that actually had stories, you know, they're done okay. But, you know, like, for the Masters, it wasn't exactly the best. But that's another thing, like, the writing wasn't good. Oh, hold on.
Yep, I got him.
Oh,
I saw that.
I was about to...
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, this thing wasn't on. I'm like, yep, I'm nipping this right in the butt right now. I can't believe they keep coming back.
Alright.
Oh.
I got them, too.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Trying to
Yeah, I hate these bots.
Yeah, trying to sabotage my streams. But I actually have to agree, not to cut into what you're saying, but I didn't want to start out super negative. But
No, yeah, of course I know. Go ahead.
yeah, I think like making the series like episodic, especially more so than like any previous series, was a mistake. I that was actually something that I was concerned about before Journey started. Way back when. I was like,
yeah.
I remember when they first came out and they said that, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but we'll see. The one thing that I missed about early Journeys, gotcha, Nick, you can join the next one. The thing that I missed the most about early Journeys, I don't know if you remember this, Emerald, but like before the episodes would come out, they would have like a promotional like image or poster for each episode, basically promoting the episode. I was gonna say, do you remember that? I remember when they were doing that. They did that for like the first 10 episodes, I think. I was hoping they would do that for every episode because they were actually really nice. Admittedly,
yeah, now that you mention it, it did get less and less over time, especially, you know, once we got to like the Master State, because, you know, I guess maybe, you know, with the production issues, they didn't really want to give too much away.
Yeah. Obviously.
What were you about to say, though?
Yeah, it was just one of the things that I really liked at the beginning of the series. I thought they were all really nice, and then it kind of just stopped after a while. I was a little bummed out about that. I guess in a perspective for me, I remember when I first started reviewing the series, yeah, I'll admit I was kind of a little bit too negative about certain things. Admittedly, I kind of like mellowed out after a certain point, but those first 10 episodes, I still kind of maintain the fact that some of them, there was a couple that were good, but there were some that I wasn't really a big fan of. Particularly the, I think it was...
Yeah, the Cinnamon was the worst one of the
that was one
early
of the,
10 for me.
That was one of the worst episodes of Journeys, in my opinion. I think the worst one is still the Marstop episode. That episode was so bad.
Really? I loved it. It was funny as hell.
Really?
I enjoyed it.
I was gonna say I was bored. I guess I was gonna say, like, for a while there, me and Lumious Trainer Zach had like the same rating for episodes, and we both had a 1 on that one.
I recall that I watched his videos too, and like, I don't know when exactly I started seeing you, but I know that you guys had some similar opinions, even like, you know, towards the end of the series as well, somewhat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this Espeon. Got him. Anyways, yeah, I want to say there were a few episodes early Journeys I wasn't a big fan of, and then I think once we got to like double digits for a little bit there, we were good for a little while. That's where I was like, okay, we're kind of picking things up a little bit. And then the pandemic happened.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
like when they, so like I said, like I didn't like how episodes weren't like involved in a story, like it was in the past. Even Sun and Moon had that, even if it wasn't the traditional story, like them going on an adventure together, they still had that,
Right.
concrete story that they had. It's just, it didn't work with them having individual story for like most episodes in this series, in my opinion. Like it felt all over the place. Like I know what you said, that was somewhat of a good thing too, but I think it did more harm in the end than it did a lot of good.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like, also, there's the issue with them not knowing how to handle goal.
Yeah.
Because, they didn't really have a plan in the beginning.
Yeah, from what I understand, I heard there was some behind the scenes stuff. I don't know exactly if it's legit or not, but I heard that there was some different plans for both Go and Kaharu/Chloe.
Chloe who?
Who is Chloe? There's one guy on funny story. There's like this one guy on Twitter. I don't even know if you've encountered him, but like he like.
Oh boy!
I literally called her Kaharu on like a video or something like that, and he came up to me. He's like, "It's Chloe." I'm like, I don't care. I call her Kaharu. I'm used to it. I literally did that for like the first like 8 months of the series, so I'm not changing it. Well, it sounds better in English. I'm like, I don't care. And we just.
I mean, I've gone back and forth with saying, Satoshi and Ash. Like, I think more nowadays, I kind of prefer Satoshi.
Yeah.
But like, I still call him Ash because he's known worldwide as both.
Right. I mean, I'm used to calling him Ash because that's what I known for like forever. And then when I started watching subs with X and Y. When they're calling him Satoshi, I was like, what? Like, who's Satoshi?
Yeah.
All right.
It threw me off back when I started seeing in Japanese. But, that's his original name, so.
Yeah, Satoshi Tajiri. And then Gary's is Shigeru.
Shigeru.
Named after Shigeru Miyamoto. I always thought that was cool.
Same. It's also in the games as well.
Yep. Man, we are getting destroyed in this Unite match.
Get that Regieleki.
We got it, but we kind of had like no support top.
Oh yeah, speaking of Regieleki, I love how it showed up again.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that he had him, but and Suicune was there.
Yeah.
Talk about a.
I like how Say again?
I was gonna say you go ahead and then I'll say what I'm gonna say because I'm gonna go into a thing here.
I like how they, it was already confirmed that he still had access to Regieleki in the opening, but it was nice that they actually showed him, in the episode again.
Right. Well, what I was gonna say is, speaking of Suicune, a controversial episode in Journeys, where Go caught him. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Admittedly, at the time I was okay with it, but as time went on, I'm like, yeah, not exactly handled the best. When they showed it in the preview, I'm like, I think this is bait, and then then he actually catches it. I'm like, wait, what?
Didn't they actually show him catch it in the preview itself?
There was like a preview, so people were like, oh, he caught him. So I'm like, there is no way this is happening. I'm like, and I watched the episode. I'm like, no way, it's actually happening. What's up, G Henry 12? What's up, Chest of Greatness? I'd read your comments, but I'm in the middle of punching things as Buzzwole.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, stepping away from the negative for a bit, I do want to say, some positive.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, I actually did enjoy Journeys, like around the first 20 episodes. Like, I don't know about you, but I actually do like the beginning of Pokemon series. around the first 20 episodes. Like it was like that for me when I saw Pokemon Best Wishes. Even though there's like some stuff that's like kind of wacky. Like
No.
not the first episode. The first episode didn't irk me. With Ash losing to Snivy. The one that irked me was the Pikachu losing to Cress's Pampor. That one was like, what?
Yeah, Best Wishes was a series I had a hard time watching. Personally.
But then also in X and Y, I didn't like when Ash lost to Viola in the first gym match. I'm like, what? Especially Pikachu losing to Cersei. I'm like, what? What are they doing? Again?
Funny thing, like I remember like back when Sun and Moon.
And that's supposed to get. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Back when Sun and Moon first came out, I don't know how much you were following like social media then, but I just remember like when Sun and Moon came out, everybody like I want to say 99% of people were just hating on Sun and Moon for the longest time.
Oh, I saw.
One of like some of the comments people had back then, one of the things that just stuck with me was like there was this guy that like he was like trashing on Sun and Moon. He's like it just doesn't compare to X, Y, and Z, and a dark and edgy series. I'm like, were we watching the same series? I'm like,
I hate those kinds of people, man.
I'm like
that's how you know people don't watch Pokemon.
Yeah, they just watch selective episodes. I just remember, I'm like, how is it dark and edgy? It's a kid's show, dude. And then they'd say stuff like, Ash looked like he was like 16 years old, but in Sun and Moon he looks like he's 7. Like stuff like that. Always cracked me up.
Yeah.
But like, what was that? What was the point I was trying to make? I completely think I forgot it because this Unite match is not going very well.
You're saying that back then, there's people that would say comments like that.
Yeah, and it's just funny too, because like I think about the point I was getting at was the Viola match. I remember watching that and being like, especially early X and Y Ash, was kind of immature. I don't know. I didn't originally watch the dub. Oh god, we're gonna lose Rayquaza. But
I saw that like the preview, like the first episodes,
Yeah, that's what they
did. But also ongoing, when the dub actually caught up as well. But yeah, continue.
But
about the dub?
I remember Ash was kind of whiny at the beginning of XY. Like he wanted to go right to the gym immediately. He was complaining to Viola.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Alexa?
Alexa, yeah. I remember he's like, I want to go to the gym right now. I'm like, oh, this is our mature Ash. I don't know, I just find stuff like that kind of funny.
If you notice,
oh, jeez.
X and Y had similarity to AG Ash because they were doing parallel. And it makes sense because, X and Y, at Gen 6, both X and Y, Kalos and the Hoenn region. So I feel like that's what they were building up, the similarities.
Right.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I kind of got a little bit off topic. We actually might be able to pull this off. But anyways, I kind of got distracted there. So I guess I could ask like maybe your thoughts. So for our characters.
Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. Actually, there's another thing I want to ask. Say.
What's up?
But yeah, like I was getting at it's usually the first 20 episodes that of each show that I think they start out pretty good well, like each series of Pokemon. Even the original series, to be honest. Like the first 10 episodes, when Ash meets, his original crew of 6 Pokemon, those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then even in Johto as well, I can say the same thing for Advanced Generation and so on, Diamond Pearl, all of those series.
Gotcha.
It's later, like in the middle, where it gets a little bit shaky. Like, that's how it's always been, at least for me.
I have no idea how we pulled that off, but we won.
Nice.
We
yeah, like
they literally got Rayquaza and we still won.
But yeah, like it's always been that way for me. Like it's the middle portion that like I can't say that I've seen every episode, like every week, but like I did eventually see them, although it took a while because I don't know, there's just some episodes that didn't catch my attention or didn't progress the story much.
Gotcha.
But it's usually like But they usually try to end on a good note, like, you know, with the battles, you know, development of the characters for the most part. That's how it is. But you know, it's just Journeys felt kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of ways.
All right. Before we start this match, let me read some comments here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I call her Kaharu too. T-Henry12 says. Team Rocket can have their own 11-episode special for their final chapter. I'll get to that in a little bit. We're gonna lead up to that shortly. Sun and Moon had a rough start after the biggest WTF from 2016. I think the thing about Sun and Moon that like killed people's interest in the beginning was they released the original poster literally during the Team Flare arc. I remember that day specifically when it came out.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Like, I get they're getting close to the end, but you still got the biggest, in my opinion, like probably the best villain arc, you know, that they were going through, and then you do that a little bit close. I don't know.
Yeah, what they should have done, like, I specifically remember. I know it's been like 6 years, but I specifically remember, the finale for that arc was a 2-episode special, and then they had like a 3-week break. They could have probably showcased that poster and a trailer during that 3-week period, but they had to do it like a couple weeks early during the Team Flare arc, and it just didn't meet the same. It wasn't like the same type of vibe. It's like, oh hey, we're facing off against the evil villain team. Oh here's Ash doing Z moves and Alola. Those were good times, though. I was at my old job then. Fun times. Not really fun times, actually. But I still remember, too, because I couldn't watch the episode live, but I still remember the day August 18th, 2016. The infamous Kalos League finale.
Oh.
I remember I was like, did Ash win? I looked at Facebook, and the first thing that showed up on my feed was Greninja fainted. I was like, what? I'm like, this has to be a joke. And then and then the one thing I remember, I know we're like way off topic, but one thing I remember was TV Tokyo used to do previews for the next episode. It was mass disliked, like I've never seen before. It was like 100 likes versus like 30,000 dislikes. I'm not kidding. It was like insane. People were not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, admittedly that was a pretty bad decision, but what's done is done. Do we have bots?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'd have to like kind of, for me, like, I guess I might be actually doing this Into Journeys review. We'll see. But I gotta like look at some episodes again. So I'm trying to remember some of them. There's a few episode reviews I've done that I actually disagree with now.
Yeah, opinions change over time. I get you.
Yeah, I think the purpose of my reviews is like, I don't know how much you follow Dragon Ball YouTubers, but I used to be a big fan of Geekdom 101.
I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, so.
Yeah, I used to watch him.
I see him too.
His reviews I always liked his Dragon Ball Super reviews when Dragon Ball Super was airing. He always it was a review, but it was also like he was having a conversation, like he was talking about the episodes, but he was trying to do that. That's kind of what I was trying to do. So I'm like, but also try to do my own thing at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, we can really talk about how we won. I mean, there's no set rules, really.
Right.
At least that's how I look at things.
Yeah, that's how I kind of like doing my things. What is this Rowlet doing? He's just sitting in the corner doing nothing. I think he's AFK.
But yeah, like, how I was saying, like, I don't know, like, Journeys felt a little bit awkward.
Yeah, there's a few arcs that I feel could have been done better. Like, the one problem I had in the beginning... The one problem I had with early journeys is that like the episodes will be like, okay, we're gonna do like these arcs, but they're not gonna be more than like 2 episodes. And there are times where I'm like, it just can't be resolved in just 2 episodes. The one time I think they kind of besides the Masters 8 tournament, the other time they broke from that was the Darkest Day arc. Which I think about that now. I gave it a good rating back then, but I probably would rate it maybe like 2 points lower now. I think I gave it like an 8 or something like that. I think it'd be more like a 6, honestly. It was okay. Oh my gosh, where are all these people coming from?
You know, as James kept on, I started to lose hope, and you know, it actually came true that they weren't gonna catch the wolves.
Yeah.
Because they felt, you know, they connected with them, like, really. If there was, you know, box of legendaries that they were gonna catch, both of them, both of them seemed like the perfect choice. But only go call Eternatus.
Yeah.
And we literally never see Zacian and Summer Center again.
Oh, yeah. And you wanna know what also disappointed me, too? Rose got away and we never saw him again. Back then...
Until the Master Say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the one thing that I was looking forward to, because I was like, the reason why Rose is not here is because they're gonna bring him back for, you know, a Crown Tundra arc down the road, and then, yeah, Peony, his daughter. I'm like, they're gonna show up, we're gonna have an arc with that, so we're probably gonna have, like, something unique, and they never did it. Like, the Pokemon anime does that at times where they'll start arcs, and then they'll just give up on it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
By the way.
Malamar arc, X and Y.
Right. Hold on just a second. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a Rowlet that is literally, like, costing us this game. I think I'm going to be reporting him at the end of this match. Oh, yeah. You want to know another thing that I thought was disappointing? The lack of Galar representation.
Yes.
That is
100% agree.
I mean, I get that we have a world format and there was going to be some sacrifices, but man, like, there are so many
sacrifices are reaching.
Like, we didn't see, like, I want to say we only got to see like a third of the gym leaders, if even that. Where's Nessa? Like, Nessa's a fan favorite from that gen. Like, why isn't she there?
We didn't see the first 3 gym leaders of Galar. Not even during watching Leon's battle with Ash. That's literally the last hope I had.
Yeah.
But nope. Not even that.
Yeah, I think
But yeah, like I said, like, Journeys was weird because also, like, you remember how at the end of Sun and Moon, Jigglypuff was shown to be on the plane with Ash sleeping? Literally, we didn't see her at all until today's episode, if you saw that.
Yeah.
She had the mic.
I actually gotta go back and look into that. Yeah, I think I'm done with this match. Sorry, if I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
We have this Rowlet player that decided to just, like, completely...
Yeah, I'm saying.
Oh.
Well, they just sit right now, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Completely ruined that match, so I'm like, yep, I'm out of here. But, yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that was, like, one of the biggest issues with Journeys I had, personally.
How they handled the characters, right?
Yeah, certain characters, and then not having, like, enough Galar characters. That's a huge wasted opportunity. Huge. There's so much stuff they could do there, and they didn't do it.
But yeah, some positives I had with the game, the series, was, you know, I think for the most part, like, most of Ash's battles were pretty good. Like, you know, for a few here and there.
There were some hiccups. I mentioned earlier in my video, Volcanar, this was a battle that I think I liked originally, but, like, I started thinking about it more in time. The ending of that battle, I'm not really too fond of, with Pikachu defeating Electivire with the 10 million Thunderbolt.
It overpowered it. It does seem a bit weird.
It is a bit strange. Do we have another? Oh yeah, it's a bot. It's a bot that was in our match.
But like for the most part, I did enjoy Ash's battles. Like, I wish some of them could have been handled better.
The very first one, I remember my My review of that episode was kind of bad, but now that I look back at it, I kept mispronouncing Viscus's name. I think I called her like Pieces or something. But I remember saying back in that episode review, I was like, yeah, why isn't Lieutenant Surge here? This is annoying. I look back at that, I'm like, why am I complaining about this? I mean, I would have liked to see Surge, but I mean, it was still a nice reference. The reference the Pikachu versus Raichu battle, which is kind of a classic from the original series. I will say, like, I do like some of the callbacks and journeys. I guess I'll go through that. Like, some of the callbacks are really nice. Like that one, for example. And then when Erica came back, when she referenced, oh, I remember you. You're the one that helped us out that one time the gym caught fire.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that's pretty cool. Like, I don't think every single returning character was utilized the best. There was a few that, unfortunately, I wasn't really too happy with, but I'm glad that...
I agree.
Yeah, I'm glad that certain characters did come back. There are other characters I wish came back, but...
Same here.
I was hoping Brock and Misty would have some type of appearance later down the road besides Misty just showing up and in screenshots. And
I guess.
And in today's episode,
we'll get that. We'll get that next year.
But yeah, that's
11 episodes.
Yep, we'll be getting to that in a little bit. But I see what they're doing now. But it seems like we're gonna get a little bit more. But I need some more information on these 11 episodes. I actually have a video that.
That's of greatness.
I do have a video that
I agree.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, speaking of that, someone brought that up today on Twitter. Like, why didn't the Kangaskhan that Pikachu met as a Pichu show back up? That actually would have been cool. I forgot about that for a long time for the first episode. I'll give Journeys this. The first episode, it's an alright beginning, admittedly, but it's a unique start to this series. Having a prequel, that was kind of cool. Then leading into episode 2, where Ash and Go meet.
Yeah.
I just like.
Yeah, it was definitely, it looked promising from the start.
Yeah.
It's just, I think in the middle, they really started to mess up.
Yeah, I think the middle was where it kind of just, they started dropping the ball with things like Go. He's catching Pokemon, but like it started slowing down, and it was never really the best. I just never could get behind him just catching Pokemon Go style. I just feel like it devalues the catching of Pokemon in the anime, and that's something you can do.
I feel like they weren't consistent doing. Yeah. To be honest, like, because I mentioned this before, but even Go stopped catching a lot of Pokemon toward like the middle/end of Journey, especially during the last Project Mew episodes.
I actually agree.
I don't know.
I agree with you, T112. Iris did have a great comeback. Even though she did lose both times she battled, having her be a champion was actually really cool.
I like that too.
Just don't tell Jerome that.
But yeah, like, I wish, like, I did like Ash's, like, another thing I liked about Journey, I did like Ash's team. It was pretty cool. I like, half of it being, Kantomon, so it's like, it was okay, but, they each had, like, a different kind of gimmick.
Yeah, I wasn't really too happy. At first, I'm like, Dragonite, at first, when he caught Dragonite, that went viral, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting overwhelmed. I'm just a plant. Oh, I'm dead. When he caught Gengar, I still remembered that. Like, there are certain episodes I still remember. Riolu, the episode where Riolu hatched was a really good one. That's actually one of the best Journeys episodes, in my opinion.
I love Riolu's development throughout Journeys. I know some people don't like how he developed, but in my opinion, he was the best, the best of developed out of all of Ash's Pokemon in Journeys.
Yeah, I mean, there was a stretch for a while where he just randomly disappeared for a long time. I'm like, where is Lucario? I forget.
After the Sword and Shield arc.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Like, that filler episode with Cinderace, they both disappeared for a little. Lucario disappeared a little bit more longer.
Yeah. So, can I get an elephant out of the room really quickly?
Go ahead.
Speaking of Pokemon, especially newer ones, Grookey. What is your thoughts on Grookey, FYI?
Honestly, I thought it was gonna evolve throughout the series, but it never did. I kind of like how it started to get someone hyped where they saw Leon's Rillaboom.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping he would do some training there, and evolve, but it never happened.
Right.
I don't know. It just felt like like how Ash's Oshawa, Dawn's Piplup. It felt like one of those Pokemon. Didn't evolve. It was there for I guess marketing.
Right.
I could say. But yeah.
Yeah, I was.
You can talk about that.
Yeah, I was not happy with Grookey. You know what the funny thing is? Remember, before Grookey was even I totally deserve to die there. For the longest time, people were like, "Where's Grookey? Where's Grookey?" And even I was like, "Where's Grookey?" And back then, I was like, "Oh, it'd be cool if Ash catches Grookey." For a while there, what I wanted originally was Go to have Cinderace, Kaharu to have Sobble, and then Ash to have Grookey. That's what I wanted, but obviously they gave Go all the Galar starters. This match is not going my way. I gotta level up.
Yeah, I was very conflicted to say the least. I thought Ash would have gotten at least one starter because that's his thing.
Yeah.
And people like the change, but in my opinion, I don't know.
I would have liked at
To
least
me-
one.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not like they couldn't because we've seen past companions like May got a Bulbasaur at one point. Interacting with Ashes. I feel like they could have had more than one of the starters for Galar, for Ash's team. But I guess he still had a starter in Pikachu. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my sense on that. I wish there would have been a starter because they already kind of felt weird how Sun and Moon have Rowlet as the flying type, but it was hatched from the actual starter bird of the region, so that was kind of cool. But it is what it is. They weren't terrible, I'll say. They're pretty unique in the end.
I mean, Sobble was okay. I preferred well, Sobble was okay. What's the middle evolution's name again? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Drizzile?
Drizzile, yes. When that happened, man, I was not.
I think it shined the best as Inteleon, especially during the second to last Project Mew, on the boat.
Yes. When he evolved into Inteleon, that's when I actually really liked him. I think that was actually great, in my opinion. Yeah, that was a rough match.
Also, another positive on Journey.
Go ahead.
Ash's former companions. I think they handle all of them well.
For the most part.
Yeah. Like Iris, I know she didn't get a victory, which I'm a bit sad because I had grown to respect Iris more, especially how she made a champion. But I think for everyone else who appeared, they're pretty good. Would love to see more stuff.
I think they did a good job with Serena. Clement and Bonnie were pretty decent. Oh, everyone left me.
I just wished things were better with Haruka and her voice actress. But it is what it is because nothing can be done with.
Gotcha.
Because I would have loved to see them interact together.
Yeah. Not to interrupt, but hey Nick, if you can hear me, are you gonna play still, or are you done for a minute?
I'll do one more.
Okay, that was up to you. That was a rough match. But anyways, another thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead. I think I'm good for now. You know, with speaking my part. Like, you can take it right now.
Okay. So I'll get your input in a minute, but Project Mew.
Oh, boy.
So I did mention this in my review earlier, but Project Mew, I will say this, in concept and when it first started, I was actually super excited about it. It's very unique. It's completely different for the anime, and it's kind of neat what they do. You go on missions. Some of them involve you catching legendary Pokemon or doing crazy stuff. And then you get tokens for your accomplishments. There were a few episodes that I thought were kind of eh. But the whole concept behind Project Mew was actually pretty cool. Just its ending just didn't land, in my opinion. Could have been handled a lot better, in my opinion. Or expanded into like a 3-part arc or something.
I see.
What are your thoughts on Project Mew?
Honestly, I did like it for the most part, but like you said, it's that ending. I don't know. It just feels like it was wasted.
Yes.
Like it didn't lead to nothing. Like I know, like, you know, there's that message with Go changing as a person over time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like for me, I thought, you know how there was that whole situation that they didn't have Go, you know, with Go.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't sure what to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Project Mew was gonna be the key to him eventually getting Mew.
I know.
But you know, it was during that time that he started to slow down with catching Pokemon too. So like, I was like thinking, are they really gonna have him catch all the Pokemon at this point? Especially as we were getting closer to episode 100. Well, past episode. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get to all the episodes. Cause that was another thing. I don't know if you recall, but remember how they said they wanted to show all the Pokemon in Journeys?
Did they?
And that didn't end up. They didn't. They didn't even show the Porygon line as well. Remember?
Yeah.
That's you know.
Yeah.
That would have been a special case or whatnot, but
I get Porygon, but yeah.
they didn't show all the legendary too. Like, you know, in the opening, I don't even think they showed Calyrex at all.
Oh,
If I could be mistaken.
you're right. I forgot about. I'm like, why was he never in the freaking show? We saw the Urshifus, but I don't think we ever saw Cubfu.
We didn't. Besides, like in one, like a few, images, but that's about it. Like, we didn't get Mustard. Like, I wish, like I said, I wish things were different.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Ash and Go were gonna catch, you know, get a Cubfu, have their own perspective, you know, version.
Right.
But instead they get into the Project Mew people, which, I don't know. I like how they all had a legendary at the end, but like I said, I thought it would have been on Ash and Gold's team.
Yeah, I didn't even.
And like I said, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I completely forgot about Crown Tundra and all that stuff. I'm like, I thought it was just Peony and his daughter. I didn't even think about Clarex. Holy crap!
Oh my god, you just reminded me as well. The Galarian birds, they didn't show them either. Like, bro.
See, that's the problem with Journeys towards the end. There's just a lot of stuff that they could have done with the series, and they just never took the opportunity to do it. Oh.
Hey, Devin.
Oh, hey, Devin's here. The whole reason we're having this conversation. What's up?
But yeah,
we already know your thoughts, Devin.
like, you know, it was cool what they did, because at least they finished off Sun and Moon. That's another thing they did right. They finished off Sun and Moon, Lily's Go, and Gladions too.
I will say this.
They found on.
I will say this. Even though Journeys, there's a lot of issues with Journeys, and there's a lot of things I'm pretty unhappy with. That is one thing that I will give Journeys credit for. They literally delivered on what I wanted. That is the one request that I had for Journeys. Like, there's a few things I wanted. Like, we did get an episode where Sophocles was over at doing, like, stuff for his goal, being an astronaut, which I thought was kind of neat. But the Lily stuff, Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, they didn't mess up Alola at all. Like, that's the one thing they got right. One of the few things they got right.
And another thing too is that episode.
And I'm actually happy.
That episode was like really well animated. Like, that's one of the best animated looking episodes of Pokemon. There was like one part that's like an irrelevant like scene where like Pikachu shows up and like I want to say like attacks what's the Pokemon called
Illegal?
yeah,
The shiny one?
illegal. Yeah.
Lily?
Yep, there's a whole sequence there that looks like really good, and they didn't even have to. The animation didn't have to go that hard, but they went there. But like, yeah, that was the one thing because I remember at the end of Sun and Moon, I'm like, why did they not? Why did they wait till the last minute to be like, oh, we're gonna go look for a Moen? And
but yeah,
they did it.
They accomplished it, and I'm glad, honestly, like, because it's different compared to the games where it's a little more gloomy. The ending for Mon.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, I remember when I was first playing the games, I was like, why is this guy like, this guy's blonde?
Like Mitchell.
Yes. I'm like, so is this guy like related to Lily Gladion Lucamine? And then yeah, it turns out. I think in the first Sun and Moon, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Professor Moen got sucked into a ultra wormhole and became a faller or something like that.
It was in the Ultra games they expanded upon it.
Yeah, there's like a cutscene.
You got the skiing.
There's a cutscene in Ultra Sun and Moon where like he shows up at the Aether Foundation or something like that, and he has no idea who Lucamine is. It's actually kind of
Gladion either.
Yeah, it's sad.
And that's what sucked. Like, yeah, it was sad because Gladion was there too, and sadly they couldn't do anything. Which is why I love what they did in, Journeys. The conclusion to Alola.
I can even like ignore the fact that Koharu and Go had no place in that episode. That episode was so good that I'm willing to ignore that. It's the same thing with...
really?
Go ahead.
I didn't really have an issue with them in that episode. If anything, they added to the experience. They met, some of the best companions of Ash.
Yeah. And then the episode led to an Alola episode that was a good conclusion.
A fighting episode.
Yep. My finger slipped and I accidentally did my Unite move. Oops. But
I loved that one.
That one
as well.
It was like 2 back-to-back 10 out of 10 episodes. I'm like, what is going on, Journeys? You're not this consistent.
Yeah, even Zach gave it good ratings too. Like perfect, I believe. Or close to perfect.
Yeah, because I was like, the Lily... Well, I prefer the Lily episode just because that was something I was looking for. But, like, that episode is, like, really, like, a close second behind it. But those are among the best Journeys episodes. So...
Yeah, because it was during that time when Journeys was doing really good. Solid episode after solid episodes.
And then the Masters 8 happened.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
we'll get to that in just a moment. Before we do that,
but yeah, that was really good for Journeys. Like, they weren't missing a single beat. I wish it had kept that.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And then the problem.
I was really hoping. What?
Yeah, we'll get to the Masters 8 in just a moment. The next thing I wanted to talk about, Koharu. Oh, Koharu / Chloe Cerise.
Chloe, yeah.
But I will call her Koharu just because I am just so used to it. I like the name.
I'll call her Chloe just for you, Metro.
All right.
Just kidding. Yeah, Koharu, yeah. No way. I'll call her Koharu too.
She... It was funny because like it was a joke on the channel that for a long time where I just called her a queen. And I did it to annoy people in the beginning. Because like a lot of people were
queen
just,
or clean?
Queen. I just it was a joke I did for a long time. I was like, Koharu's a queen, guys. Because it was
Chlorine?
Yeah, I did that for a long time. Chlorine.
Devin called her Chlorine.
Alright, we'll go with that. So chlorine. But no, seriously though, but it was a joke on the channel for a little bit because like people did not like I mean, people still don't really like her, and obviously things haven't been like the greatest towards the end, which we'll get into that in a second. But like, I had hope for her for a long time. I'm like, I feel like they're gonna try and do something with her. They're just waiting. That was my thought going into it. But she got Eevee, and that's where I was like, okay, maybe things are gonna change. And while some of the Eevee episodes were decent, we had the Glaceon episode that was really good. The problem is I don't really feel like she developed a ton. Or I feel like they should have done a lot more with her, and they just didn't. And I don't know why. I get that she wasn't like a main character. But, I don't know. What are your thoughts? And I died.
I didn't like her at first. I didn't like how she acted towards Ash's. To be honest.
In the beginning, she like didn't even acknowledge him. I'll say that. I will say that this is what.
Yeah.
She has changed as a character. I mean, it's subtle. Like the one episode, like
yeah.
it was actually.
What happened?
Oh, sorry. I think we just lost.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I forget what episode it was. I think it was the. It's been a minute since I watched this one. It was the episode where Go brought Ash to school and he was giving a presentation on his friend, and it was during this episode where Kaoru was just sitting there and she's like laughing to herself. She's like, "Oh, that's so like Ash. Oh, that that." And I remember thinking that when I was watching it, I'm like, "Wow." I'm like, early journeys, Kaoru would just be annoyed in her seat, be like, oh, "Why is he doing this speech? Or, oh, why'd you bring him here?" Stuff like that.
Was this before the fossil episode when they started to really connect?
I'm trying to remember when this happened. It might have been after that.
Before Aerodactyl?
It might have been.
Okay.
It might have been after that.
So after the Sword and Shield arc?
I believe so. Yeah. I have to look into that. Maybe someone in the chat can say something. I actually got to look at chat in a little bit because I haven't been looking. Sorry, Nick. We're having some rough matches tonight.
Yeah, I didn't like her at first, but she changed up. Started to be more friendly with Ash, which I did enjoy. Like they even had like good discussions here and there. And then as we found out later, she actually did watch Ash's matches, even if she wasn't there until League. Well, Masters 8. It is the League basically of the series.
We'll get to the Masters 8 in just a second. I have a few thoughts on that, but
But yeah, her goal today, what we saw, her being a research, it could have been a little more better handled throughout the series, no doubt.
Should have happened a little bit sooner in my eyes.
It did feel like, it felt like she was going over her goal, but at least she has a, and she ended up finding out what she wanted to.
Yeah.
She's not gonna be like her father exactly, but she does want to research, more about Eevee and Pokemon in general.
Yeah. Oh hey weirdo, what's up?
So I feel like Chloe, one thing. Oh my god.
What's up?
When she caught Eevee.
Oh.
When she caught Eevee, the puppy was forgotten, for the most part, my dude.
Oh, Yampert.
It came back today, but I don't know, man. Isn't Yampert supposed to be like her first partner? Like, how do you just not show it?
It's funny because Yamper just felt like a family dog and not an actual Pokemon. If I'm being honest. Besides,
I
don't know. Yeah, I
wish they would have traveled more together. Have more interaction.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Well.
Yeah, they kind of dropped the ball there, unfortunately. I'm trying to think what else. There's a lot. I have a lot of thoughts going in this ending, but you're bringing back stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh! I'm like, I forgot about that. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad that I forgot about Yamper. I think that says a lot.
Oh my god. But yeah, I also like her interactions, you know, that she had, you know, not just with Ash, but other characters like Dawn. You know, even though I know people weren't too fond of those episodes, which I can see why, but you know, she did have good interactions, in my opinion. Maybe she should have a little bit more, you know, development. That's another thing.
Right.
I think, for the most part, her interactions were pretty good. And yeah, it does suck that she wasn't a... I feel like if she had been a part of the trio, I feel like she would have been more consistent.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. The writers, they would have to balance that out. Probably have a plan, I would say.
I said this...
Yeah, those are my thoughts on her.
Gotcha. I said this, like, way back in the day. By back in the day, probably, like, 2020. I would say I was never really a big fan of, like, having a character that's literally the same age as our main characters be treated as a side character. Because, like, the problem, too, is, like, with her, she's going to be compared to other Poke Girls. And unfavorably so now. Because of that. I
see.
I had high hopes for her. I was really hoping that they would actually, like, do something, like, significant with her. And I don't know. I'm very mixed. I still like her character, but, like, I just don't think they just did her justice or did enough with her.
I see. There's one more thing I need to tell you.
What's up?
Like I said, I mentioned this in the review that you had today. I really wish she would have participated in the raid battle with Go and Ash.
Yeah.
Like, she was literally right there. Like, why? She even helped him out in the last episode, you know, using Yawn.
Yeah, and, like,
against Zero.
Yeah, and then we have Ash and Go going on this adventure with Lugia. And she's like, oh, where is everyone? Oh, wait, there they are arriving on Lugia. I do think it was funny because it was like a subtle callback to the first episode because, like, I remember in that first episode, they're like, yeah, we went on an adventure with Lugia. And she's like, yeah, sure. But, like, now she, like, looks at that. She's like, oh, hey. It's funny because, like, she didn't act like she was surprised or anything. She just, like, smiled when she saw them. I'd probably be like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, you actually bring up another thing that I want to ask. Well, I want to talk about, but...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
We're gonna once we get done with that, we're gonna talk about the next elephant in the room. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, anything else, like, you can...
I'm trying to think what else. I think I've covered, like, mostly what I wanted to talk about.
We talked about Go.
We talked about Go a little bit. We talked about Kara. We talked about some parts of Journeys, the Darkest Day a little bit. I guess, like, one thing I could say before we go to the Masters 8, or even the PWC. I think we talked about the PWC a little bit, but...
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, with the battle.
Some of Go's captures, like, besides the ones that were, like, Pokemon Go styled, there was a few decent ones, in my opinion. Cubone was one, and Aerodactyl was another one. Nice captures, really cool, but then it kind of sucks when the Pokemon just disappear back at the Sakuragi lab, and then you don't see them for, like, 10 episodes or 20 episodes.
Yeah, I feel like that was always going to be an issue, because, you know...
That's a consequence.
It didn't have...
It's like a consequence for catching all the Pokemon. You're going to sacrifice that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to all in.
It's
really,
impossible to balance that. That's why I was like...
Element time.
That's why when he came up with that goal, I'm like, this is just too ambitious for the series. Like, it sounds good on paper, but, like, execution-wise, it's not going to work, unfortunately. That's the one issue I had with Journeys. I'm like, it's too ambitious for its own good. Charmeleon, get back here. Okay, so I think it's time.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
I actually need to tell you one more.
What's up?
It goes back to the legendary Pokemon. Like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, part of Go's goal was to get all the Pokemon, right?
Yep.
And, you know, he was doing a good job, you know, catching, like, the regular Pokemon. But then when it comes to legendary, he only caught 3.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, they're all pretty important.
Yeah.
You know, Eternity, Suicune, even Regieleki.
The controversial Suicune. Yeah, there could have been more done there, but he almost caught Zapdos. If you remember.
That's another thing I'm gonna tell you.
Oh.
When they started showing the other legendaries, like, I really thought they were building up to him eventually going to catch more of them. Like the Zapdos one, like he came close, but you know, he didn't get it. He saw Moltres.
You know, speaking of legendary Pokemon, you want to know another episode I forgot to talk about here?
Oh,
the Mewtwo episode.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I slightly enjoyed that episode. I went back later and like, yeah, that episode's kind of rough now. It's just funny too because Mewtwo appeared in today's episode like very briefly. I didn't even see it on the first watch, and someone was like, "Oh, Mewtwo's in the episode." I'm like, "What?" Went back and looked. I'm like, "Oh, there he is, like in the corner."
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. Cause like the same people who saw Todd Snap and Rose and Olina, they pointed it out today on Mewtwo being in the episode. But yeah, it was kind of random that they because I don't think they explicitly said it in the episode. But it's implied because Ash remember Mewtwo. That was the one from the first movie. And the Mewtwo Return special as well.
I forgot about the Mewtwo special. I had that too.
I've only seen it a little bit. Not too much, but it was cool that they brought him back, but like I don't know. Like that's the thing with the legendary, like, Gold didn't really capture any of them, and I thought by the end of the series, like, he would have had to, especially like for like Project Mew, but he only did it for one, Reggie and Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't really, I don't know, like they showed them in the opening. Remember how they show bunch of the legendaries?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were gonna do that.
Yep. Yeah.
But sadly, that wasn't the case. And they didn't even show all of the legendaries. Like the biggest one, Calyrex, like.
Yeah,
they went to the Crown Tundra.
They went to the Crown Tundra. Well, I think they technically went twice. Well, go solo. But
yeah,
they didn't go to Isle. Another thing, they didn't go to Isle of Armor at all. Like, why?
That's another thing I was gonna tell you. The mushroom. When Gengar was training to get the G-Max one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. There's a bot.
Another bot? Yeah, get him. Thank you. Dude, is that guy back again? Ugh, Twitter? Or Ugh, Tinder? Really? Man, we are not having a good night in Unite. Alright. Thanks, guys. Can I get a hashtag mod game?
I caught that in my eye when I saw it.
I didn't even see it. I'm kind of in the middle of like dying in Unite. Oh my gosh, we have 13 people watching.
This is the place to be, man.
This is the place to be. You know what also would make me happy? You could hit that like. Yeah, hit that like button if you haven't already. All right.
Where did I end off? Or did you left off with something? I still have a little more to say.
I kind of got distracted by the bot that was trying to kill my stream. We could start with something fresh.
Just I'll take over.
I was gonna say, is there anything else we want to get to before we go to the Masters 8?
Oh, wait, I remember now. The Isle of Armor you were gonna say. Talk about that.
Like that's another like why wasn't it in like featured? I was actually like, I made a video talking about a potential Isle of Armor arc, and I'm like, why didn't it happen?
Bro, they messed up so badly by not showing Mustard or Peony. They're former champions too. They're important.
I know. Well, I think we won.
I don't know. It was cool that we saw Alistair, but we still had a bunch of important characters.
Exactly.
That didn't show up. Like, okay, as maybe I shouldn't get my hopes up, but I'm kind of hoping with the last 11 episodes of Ash's journey, he meets them. He goes, cause they're gonna go to the regions. You know that, right?
Yeah.
In those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
maybe I shouldn't get my hopes up, but they could potentially show them in those episodes.
Possibly.
It's not gonna be even, you know, because it's 11 episodes. I don't know if they're gonna go to Paldea, but if they don't, I don't think they're gonna do one episode per series. You get what I mean?
Mm.
Some of them probably gonna have multiple. But yeah, I don't know. Like, they could have handled the Avarmer and Crown Tundra so much.
Yeah.
And then I still have more to say, but anything else that you want to add?
I think that's all I got. So I think
Okay,
we can move on to I guess the final segment of Journeys, and then maybe like some overall thoughts at the end.
You won.
I know we like lucked out at the end. If Lip Square didn't score back there, we would have been in trouble.
See,
that was a rough match,
Well-
but we pulled it off. But anyways, let's talk
one
about.
thing I wanted to say.
All right, what's up?
So, it's still about the legendaries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of, I don't know. It feels kind of odd that they didn't show Cadyrax, or like, you know, they didn't show all the legendaries. Because I thought, like I said, I thought Go was gonna catch more legendaries. Because I thought like if he had caught more, then he would have been prepared for Mew more. You know what I mean?
Right.
I thought we were gonna see like some unfinished stuff, like that Crossmouth Z move, like he was gonna catch it somehow. Because we never saw that in that Sun and Moon anime. Catch the Ultra Beast as well. Maybe even a shiny one like Latium.
You know what? That was another thing. Is like if they were gonna showcase all the Pokemon, I was expecting to go to Alola and do like a Ultra Beast thing, like go through the wormhole or something like that.
Because that's another thing about Alola. Like, you know, as much as I love Alola and like a lot of people do, they didn't really handle the Ultra Beast like a threat like they did in the. A lot of them felt comedic. That's one thing I didn't like.
Yeah. Before we go on, I need one more person to join my team, please. Anybody? Anyways,
But yeah, like I said, like one thing they could fix, you know, they could probably still show the legendaries in the 11 episode, which it looks like they will show some legendaries, like the Latias.
Yeah, Latias.
But we'll get to that when. But, you know, we'll talk about that a little.
That'll be like what we're saving for towards or after this discussion. Alrighty.
That's it for me. Like on that, like those are my thoughts.
Okay.
Anything you want to add before we get to the next part?
I'm been ready for the next part for a little bit, so I think we should probably go to it.
All right.
I'm just gonna mention really quickly again. I need one more person to join. If you're listening to this, Katie, you're welcome to join again. Or unless someone else shows up, we just need one person. Alrighty. The Masters 8 tournament. Okay, so yeah, it was very much hit and miss. Not to mention production issues, like really reared its ugly head during the Masters 8 tournament. Oh, perfect. Oh, Nick's here. Okay. Thank you, Nick. The very first episode. Oof. What a not so great way to start off the Masters 8. So we'll start with this. So the very beginning of this episode, we get Hop showing up in the series for the first time, and you know what happens? He literally
One shot.
He literally loses to Ash in 12 seconds.
He got Popeyed.
Yeah. Oh, T. Henry 12. Don't get me started with Leon versus Alon. I'm sorry, but we have to cover it. We're talking about.
Oh my god.
Very briefly, I won't spend a lot of time because we already know. I know what mostly everyone thinks about it, but we do have to talk about it because we're kind of talking about the series, and yeah, I'll say no more for now. But yeah, I gotta say, I was not happy with how was introduced really late in the Sun and Moon, and he wasn't really treated the best. Hop literally got it worse. I didn't think that was possible. How? And why?
This was Journey's match. Anything can happen.
Oh. I mean, I guess
Everything happened in Journeys.
I guess it was cool. He was in the crowd, but like he didn't like contribute much to like anything. At best, he was fighting B in this episode at the end, but that's like too late. Also,
could have been a different character.
I know I'm kind of getting away from this. You know another character that didn't show up in the series that I now think about? Bede. Why?
Oh, Bede.
Bede.
You're right.
We had Marnie show up. We had Hop show up. No Bede.
I
know, when I think about it, I'm like thinking about more. I'm like, oh wait, now that I remember now, this character wasn't in the series. But anyway,
they also didn't show.
They didn't show the rivals.
What about Ivory? You know, the other two from the Isle of Armor.
Yep.
Either.
We didn't get Isle of Armor.
The other two leaders.
Yep. Anyways, Masters 8. Something that I was looking forward to, and yeah, it was a rough start. So there was that happened immediately. I didn't really like the fact that
How did you feel about?
How I feel about what?
How did you feel about the interaction? You know, before we even get to the battles, you know, because how did you feel about the interactions with the champions like Ash, Alon?
I was not happy.
Because, you know, people had like mixed opinions about that.
Yeah, I was not happy. It's just like they like just looked at each other in that episode. I was like expecting them to be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" There was the one scene in the episode where Ash and Iris are running there, and then they just walk in, and everybody just looks at them like super seriously.
Yeah,
it was a little off-putting, but I was expecting to be like, "Oh."
They were the only good. You know, the very good interaction was Iris and Ash, and Iris and the other female champion.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, when it came to the other champions, yeah, like you said, it just looks dead serious.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm like, why aren't you guys like talking? So yeah, and then we got the reveal for the matchup. So I'm a little mixed on some of them, but I see what they did for Ash's match. They literally did 3-2-1. I think they did that on purpose because of the opening.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, because like I thought about that later. I'm like, why didn't I think about this like months ago when they first
really?
I
saw it like since they first revealed it.
I didn't know they were gonna do that.
Well, at least I know it.
I mean, I kind of got nervous because I'm like, okay, I want Ash and Alon to face off, but at the same time, I'm like, Greninja has to come back for that, which obviously wasn't gonna happen.
We missed one thing.
What's up?
Ash's Pokemon, like not his Journey's team, the reserve.
Okay, in the beginning, like one thing that I really wanted, I will say another missed opportunity. I was hoping that Ash May would use his reserves from time to time. Be like, oh hey, you know Charizard hasn't battled in a while. Maybe I could use him for a battle. I was kind of hoping that would happen, but you know we did get some new Pokemon from him. He got his Journey team, but we had that one episode where Infernape fought Moltres, if I remember correctly.
He got job, bro.
Yeah, they kind of screwed that up. Oh no.
This, you know how you said your opinion changed on episodes like the Volkner fight? Or
yeah.
The other you mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them for me.
Yeah.
Like the Moltres episode. At first, I really was happy seeing his reserves. Not all of them, you know. But it was cool seeing some of them back in the lab and even in Infernape battle. But then I saw, I don't know if you know what's his name, Professor Silver, who does videos on the Pokemon on YouTube.
Yep, I know about him. I think I remember his video actually. It's been a minute though.
It was about who had the better comeback, Greninja or Infernape. And when I saw his video, I did agree with him in the end. Yeah, Infernape got done kind of badly. Its comeback, like, it didn't do well against Moltres. Go ahead.
Sorry, we're like getting like completely overwhelmed here. We had like 4 people gang up on us, but Yeah. I probably should mention that too. We also had the episodes where we went to Oak's lab again. I kind of felt like those were more of a tease, if I'm being completely honest. It was like, yay, we got to see them. Then we Then we literally we went away from them. And it was like, oh, we got this thing going on with Moltres and Fernape. We need bottom people. I mean, we kind of need you guys on top, but it's okay. Anywho.
Sorry, Mitchell. What you saying about the what?
I was talking to Red.
No. But what you said about a tease? You said, right?
I just felt it was a bit of a tease because it was like we got to hang out with Ash's Pokemon for like 2 minutes and then they kind of went away. If you know what I mean. I know it's
off-screen land.
Yep. Dang, I just got completely destroyed. Yeah, the dreaded off-screen land. Literally one of Journey's biggest flaws.
That's by any anime.
Yeah. I don't like it in any series really. Unless there's a way to do it. And Journey's kind of never really handled it very well. We are just getting destroyed. Like what's a good example? I like it when like a series like they'll do something off screen, but then they'll do like a flashback showing something.
There we go.
I know you don't.
Bleach does it well, in my opinion.
Yep, Bleach does that. I know you don't watch the series, but My Hero Academia does that from time to time. There's actually a moment within this current season that something like that happens, which explains something that happens. But yeah. Anyways. Wow, we're having a really
because I know it can be like pretty bad. Well, not bad, but like it isn't always handled the best. Cause like I don't know if you noticed, but like I don't know if you ever read the Dragon Ball manga, but in the anime when they showed Vegeta transforming into a Super Saiyan, they had that flashback of him transforming, in space for the first time.
Yep, I remember that.
Never was shown in the manga.
Yeah,
we only see Vegeta transform for the first time. And it wasn't even the first time because, he was fighting the androids after they trained the 3 years. But yeah, that scene was never in the manga.
There's a lot of stuff.
It was only in the anime.
There's a lot of stuff that, there's a lot of differences between the manga and anime for Dragon Ball. I know that. One common one, I know we're turning this into a Dragon Ball conversation, but one thing I remember was way back in the King Piccolo arc. In the anime...
Ooh, nice arc.
In the anime, when Tien confronts King Piccolo, in the manga, the rice bowl is actually destroyed. So he's just like, oh, I'll just fight him. Which honestly is which is honestly kind of dumb because it's like, Tien, you're literally no match. Then he just bursts out Drum and Drum just destroys him. But in the anime, they change it because he still has it and he fights Drum and it's an extended fight because Toei. But he still attempts that, so because he did all that he did that on-screen training, and it would have been a waste. But I completely forgot this was a Pokemon conversation and just started talking about Dragon Ball.
No, but yeah, I agree. Like I remember seeing that. I was like, when I read the manga the first time, I was like, wait, what? Because I had the DVD before I read the Dragon Ball manga, like in the mid-2000s.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is way different.
Yeah, and the dialogue is actually a lot more interesting in the manga. Can't really talk about it though, but yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Well, depending on the version, because one, if you get the more recent prints, they're censored or changed.
Yep.
Even some of the artwork as well. But yeah. So yeah, off screen, man.
Yeah.
And Ash's Pokemon, them coming back. Yeah. Yeah, Infernape wasn't. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
The one
about Ash's Pokemon.
We'll get back to the Masters 8 in just a second, but what was it? Do you know what one thing? I don't know if you remember this, but back in those episodes where there'd be large gaps between PWC matches, it would be like Ash. He's been working towards the PWC. Now he's at rank 475 or something like that. and then he'd win one match, and then he'll suddenly be at like 250 or something like that.
Yeah, the shift in ranks sometimes dramatically, right?
Yeah, I was not. I never was really a big fan of that. They could fill that in with other like people showing up. I just don't get why they went ahead and did something like that. But anyways, I want to kind of go back to the Masters 8 just because we kind of fell away from that. Alrighty, let's get the rough part. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Leon versus Alon. Ooh. That was not good.
Are you there, Mitchell?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought something happened.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, that was not handled well at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
we'll give Alon this. He at least defeated Leon's busted Rillaboom, which Diantha like got completely destroyed by, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
I hate that Rillaboom. I kind of do. Like it was way too OP for its own good.
Yeah, I don't get why he was so strong. He was way too strong.
I'll get more into that later on as we get to the.
But yeah, we'll just go briefly over the battles. Just I don't want to spend like a ton of time, but So yeah, that wasn't a good way to start the Masters 8 tournament, and I don't like the fact that you bring Alon back only for him to lose in such a humiliating way.
Good job.
Because like the thing about it is, I even said this way back. I was like, even if he loses, I want it to be a respectable loss where like he's at least treated well, and like he still maybe puts up a decent fight. He maybe loses. Maybe they go down to their last Pokemon and. You know, Leon still overwhelms him with his Charizard or something like that. He Gigantamaxes his Charizard, and it's Mega Evolution versus Dynamax. That would have been cool.
Yeah, Dynamax.
And then he loses, and he's just like, you know what, and then Ash. They could have had something like Ash say something in the crowd, would be like, yeah, I remember Alon. I remember the time when we faced off in the Kalos League, and they could actually show a flashback to that or something like that. Like, I think that. If they would have done that, it would have added so much more to the battle. And like, if they changed it and made it better, then yeah, we could have actually had like a decent like battle. Even though Alon loses, I feel like they could have done it a little better. But what we got was not it. Those are my final thoughts on that.
I see. I have a couple things to say about that. Yeah, we talked about how the Galar.
I'm having a hard time paying attention to chat. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, we'll move on from that. So for the rest of the matches,
Oh wait, hold on. I wanted to tell you.
What's up?
What did you think about the choices of his Pokemon? It felt kind of random. I thought the Chestnut was gonna be, I don't know, for some reason Chespy. You know, the Chespin.
They could have done that.
Like
actually.
at first. Like, I don't know, it felt kind of weird how they didn't use it. But I like how they use, mostly Kalos. But, obviously he has used Pick a Charizard X.
Yeah, I think that they could.
But it also felt way too...
The other main Pokemon he had was like his Metagross, but I don't think they could have shown that because Steven. I think that's why.
He also had Tyranitar. Oh yeah, you mean his main Pokemon. I get what you mean.
That's why I feel he didn't bring that to that battle. It would have been a little bit on the repetitive side if we had 2 Metagross users. Then again, we had 3 Dragonite users.
Yeah, 3 Dragonites. I was about to say the same thing.
I was like, then again, we have 3 Dragonites, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but whatever. We had 2 Charizards.
3 if you want to count Ash if he would about it. Oh my god. But, yeah, I don't know, I like the choices, but, I feel like they should have brought back the other ones. For Alon.
Right. So
And the last thing,
go ahead.
oh, what? Oh, I didn't like how fast, like, we were literally, like, in, like, the last, like, what, 2 minutes of the fight, Charizard got taken out by regular Charizard.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I remember watching. I'm like, what? I'm like, how?
I was looking at the clock. I'm like, wait a minute, we're about to end. How is this gonna resolve already?
I'm like, is
And then he
Leon's
gets two shot.
is Leon's Charizard like level 1000? That's why I was like, how in the world is Ash expected to win? Because I'm like, they made him like a brick wall. Holy crap!
And chaos happened.
Yep. Then and basically all of Antipoke Twitter just melt down that day. I'm like, yeah, this.
And Tyrone.
Oh, we don't.
And Tyrone was right.
I was gonna say, we don't talk about that. It's not exactly a good moment for him, but yeah.
I mean, he was right.
Yeah.
They really messed up badly.
Yeah, true. But, anyways,
And I remember because he also was showing, the day before, he was showing the good classic episodes of Alan and his greatness.
the Mega
Evolution specials.
Yeah, those are good.
Oh, you were there too?
I wasn't there, but like I've watched the Mega Evolution specials, and they're all pretty good. Ooh.
Oh, cause yeah, he was showing them to us, and like, yeah, it was pretty good. The moments, like, I will say, I feel like people overhype Alan a little bit, cause like, yeah, he stood up to the legendaries, but he also really didn't beat them. He got owned in the end by them.
Excellent selection.
But that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Did you know that there's multiple Ash Ketchum? So did they mention what Ash Ketchum is leaving? The actual Ash Ketchum. We'll be getting to that at some point. My goodness, I'm like not having a good night in Unite tonight.
Mitch, I'll be back, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
You should get back to the Masters 8 in a bit, okay?
Sure.
Oh, is there something else you wanted to talk to me before?
I'm gonna concentrate on Unite until you come back, just because we're just having a rough time.
Gotcha. BRB.
Alright. I am just being destroyed. Got him. Whoa! And I die. Wonderful. So guys, let me see what you guys have said in the chat. We got 11 people here. What's up, y'all? We had like 13 for a second. Nick, if you want to jump in for a second, you can. While we wait for Emerald to come back. It's up to you. I'm not sure what you mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the main series. I don't think they need to specify. Hi, Legendary. Jeez Louise! Oh, Nick's not in the chat, actually. Will Lyco be the center stage? Oh. Whoa, what's up? Thanks for joining. Not FWB Games 1. Thank you for joining the stream. Where we are literally being destroyed left and right in Unite. No, I'm pretty sure it's actually main series Ash. Literally, Ash is not shown in the poster for the new series. And my goodness, mods, please take care of the bot. Please now. Alright, I gotta go back and heal. Oh hey, we got 14 people. What's up, y'all? You guys wanna... Oh. What are your guys' thoughts on, like, the Masters 8? Everybody Rayquaza! And they got freaking Regieleki. Get Gengar. Get Gengar. Dang it, I'm dead. Ugh. Where'd they go? Dang it. That was a rough match. Alright, before this next match, I have to take a quick bathroom break. Yeah, we're not really having a good night on Unite. I am having a pretty nice conversation with you guys, though, about the ending of Journeys here. Alright, you're good, Nick. I don't know what you're talking about, Leah. It literally, Ash is not like they already said that it's Ash's final chapter, so literally it's done. At most, Ash will make a cameo in the new series. He's not the main character anymore. That's in the conversation, please. Anyways, guys, I gotta use the restroom really quickly. I'll be right back.
Hello? Hey, Metro, can you hear me?
Alrighty, I'm back, guys. I don't know what you're talking about, Leah. You're not making sense to me.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you, Hero. I went there too just now before I came back.
Yeah, I had to jump in there. Of course, when I go, you show back up. It's okay though.
Mitchell, there's something I realized as I left and came back.
Okay.
I forgot to talk about. because I got to thinking about the legendaries again, and
Uh-huh.
it's something that like was kind of in throughout the whole of Journeys. What did you think about the inconsistent power level scaling sometimes?
Yeah.
You remember that, right? Because I remember, like, bro, why did that Articuno seem so tough? Then they should have been able to beat it. Like,
Yeah.
that was one thing. Like, and some of the matches, like, you know, like Leon versus Alon, like we were talking about too. Like, what was up with that at times? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, did you feel like some battles were like the power scaling was all over the place? Like how I mentioned these two battles?
Yeah. There's some like Zapdos and then the Articuno. Some of them were weird. Like there were power scaling issues in Journeys. Yeah, that was another issue Journeys had. Which goes into like, you know, Ash versus, I mean, they'll be down the road, but Ash versus Leon. You'd think that Ash is like stands no chance against Leon, but considering how Diantha and Alon did, but yeah, it is. I'll admit it is a little bit on the problematic side, but I want to start going through this just so that we can like move on to what comes next. So the next match in the Masters 8 was Lance versus Diantha. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this one. This one was a decent battle. A few issues with it, but
I agree with.
I remember people telling me for a long time like, oh no, Lance is gonna destroy Diantha. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure that I think she's gonna win just because you know Leon already faced off against Lance, so I mean it'd be kind of repetitive for him to fight him again, and seeing as Ash and Iris aren't fighting again, so it kind of made sense that Lance lost. But it's an alright battle.
I agree with what Zach said.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the best fight. Like, you know, I didn't like. Yeah, it was two champions, but like I wasn't really interested that much. Like, I wish it would have been different, like pairings, kind of. But you know, then you have this whole, you know, like who should he battle then? Like, and like who should lose to Leon? Like, I don't know. It would have messed up a lot of stuff, but like, I guess it had to be what it was.
Yeah. So like I said, it's an alright battle. So I will What's up?
Well, I guess I can mention this later, but yeah. Yeah, it was okay. Like, I didn't like how Lance, my boy, you know, he got jobbed. Well, not jobbed, done dirty again. Didn't get a single dub, even though he saved the world with Ash, like, you know, twice, probably more.
Yep. So yep, I'd say like it's an.
There's one thing.
What's up?
I kind of wish they had a battle. Or maybe they're saving that for the 11 episode special.
Maybe.
I mean, episode. Cause that's one thing, like... And also, with Alana, so kind of hoping that they do battles that didn't get to see. Like, rematch with Alana, and a match between Lance and Ash.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what my feedback on that.
I feel like something like that, there's a chance that it may or may not happen. I just want to see more of what these 11 episodes are going to be, but we will talk about that in a little bit. So moving on, we have Iris versus Cynthia, which I'd say I think that was the best battle in the quarterfinals in my opinion, just because they have a little bit of history.
I think so too. Like, I know, like, you know, they fought each other back in best, which was, by the way, it was a pretty good fight, even if it was one-sided, because, you know, actually was just, you know, not obviously it's not gonna beat Cynthia's Garchomp, but you know, it was a pretty good fight back then. Yeah. And then seeing them battle again, it was done good.
Yeah.
I'll get my thoughts in a bit, but go ahead.
So
what were you gonna say?
This leaves us to the final quarterfinals match, which was Ash
Oh,
versus
I thought you had much to say about the battle.
I will say this. There was the nice moment where they called back to Best Wishes, which I thought was pretty nice. I do like the fact that Iris was like actually pressuring Cynthia, which shows how strong she is, and people can stop complaining saying she's weak. She actually was putting Cynthia on edge, and she had the Mega Evolve in order to win. And her Pokemon, her Haxorus, literally doesn't have any gimmicks, and she was doing pretty well without one, we'll just be honest.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
I wish... Wait, what?
She just sucks she got no wins.
Yeah. I wish that she, well, it was cool seeing Cynthia actually reference, you know, how she Mega Evolves in the Lola games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it just shows that she's really all over the place too as a trainer. That she has Mega and, you know, the other thing that will get...
Right.
Which is kind of unique to the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she hasn't been in the games, that is, in Galar, but, you know, we'll talk about it. But, yeah. I think it was the best fight out of all for the first round.
Yep. And that leaves us with our last one, which is Ash versus Steven.
Ash versus Steve.
Yeah, this one, I'll admit, out of the Ash battles for the Masters 8, it's the worst one. I mean, there's only 3, so... And the other 2 competitions they have is literally Ash versus Cynthia and Ash versus Leon. Yeah, and it's a 3v3 too. This battle was kind of weak in my opinion. It's not the worst match, obviously, in the quarterfinals, but there's a few issues with it. Like Draco bitch literally like dying in like 1 hit from freaking Aggron, I want to say, and then Aggron takes like
it was Aggron.
It takes burn damage from Will-O-Wisp and dies. There was a few awkward.
Wait, what'd you say? You called it Draco what?
I said
I said
Draco literally like died really easily. I think I want to say it head butted with. It's been a minute since I watched the battle, but I want to say it head butted with Aggron, and it literally just fell over and died.
No, it sounded funny the way you said it. It kind of sounds something different. But yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, anything else you think about that battle?
And then Ash uses gimmick to win, which I was kind of getting tired of that, but I just think overall, there was a few good moments, like when Pikachu. What was the Pokemon? I forget. But
Credilli?
Yeah, Credilli. He beat him in a very unique and Ash-like way, where he used Electro Web and tied it up so it like couldn't do anything. That was cool. I like that moment in the battle. But overall, it's kind of a battle. It's one of the weaker, not like the weakest battle, but I'd say it's a weaker battle than like the latter half of the Masters or the PWC.
Maybe this is just me, because of the Gen 3 person that I am. You know, because Gen 3 is my favorite generation.
Yep.
But I actually did love that battle. I woke up. Well, did I even fall asleep that night? I don't think I did until later. Anyway, point is, I was very hyped for this. I was waiting for this match since Gen 3.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we never got that. The most we got was that episode they met, you know, in Duford.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't see Steven again until, you know, Kalos.
Yep.
You know, X and Y, Gen 6. But, you know, the most we saw there was they teamed up against Team Flare, which that was amazing.
Amazing.
Just want to point that out.
The only issue I had was that it just seemed like Steven didn't really acknowledge Ash. That was the only issue.
Yeah, there was like a couple things. Well, like that was one of them. They didn't really, you know, seem to know each other, but you know, obviously we know they do. And also like another thing, side note, but like they were gonna show Professor Oak more, but they forgot to.
Yep.
Like over time.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay, that's cool. Cause yeah, like they said it in an interview that they were gonna show Professor Oak more, but like nope, we literally just saw him like very early on with the Rotom. That's been forgotten now, obviously. But yeah, there's like a couple things, so I didn't. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the battle with Steven, I was very hyped to see that they were gonna be paired up. Honestly, I love the battle.
Really?
Like, yeah. So, and maybe that's because I, this was the generation that I really started to be in competitive battles more. With VGC, double battles and whatnot. But like in the beginning of the fight, you see Dracovish versus Shiny Metagross, and they use the strategy that they had from Paul, with their battle, the training they did, which I love, and they even showed Paul too. So that was a bonus. It made Steven had to rethink his strategy, and that's when Aggron came out. And yeah, maybe it was a bit, what did my... A bit, I guess maybe OP that he took out Dracovish in one hit with Heavy Slam. I believe that was the move. Especially with how it works in Bud. At the same time, it shows you that, Steven's no pushover, that he's really strong. That he was able to take out Dracovish, which is really strong too, but obviously, Steven's not going to be... There's a reason why, it showcased that, he's number 3 in the world. He's very strong. Not going to be easy for Ash to just take the win from him. And he's showing his strength. And plus, Steel type is also one of the best typings in the...
Right.
And yeah, like... And then with the next one, Gengar, when he stood up to the battle, I didn't find it a problem with the Will-O-Wisp, because it's supposed to cut the attack of the opponent and do, burn damage, which, Gengar attacked it as well, but, it was really the burn damage that was really making it survive, attacks it was getting handled on. Plus, the burn damage, so, that was really cutting its health. And eventually, Gengar got the victory.
Devin said in the chat, but doesn't water resist steel?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of, it is a little bit out there that Dracovish got taken out like that. But like I said, like, that means that Aggron is really strong, I love it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like I know people, didn't like that. I don't know. To me, I loved it. Like it's showing, like I said, Steven's not a pushover. Kind of like how we saw with Leon and Alan. They're not pushovers. They're like really strong.
I get ya. I mean, we all have our different opinions on the show. I just felt like the battle was a bit and that's just me though.
Right.
It's fair enough.
Right. And then, like I did like how Cradily showing its, not just any pushover as well. Like, because Cradily in this generation, I saw how strong it can battle. Especially when it used, the strategy there with the roots and Meteor Beam. Like, it boosted its special attack with that. And, it took out Gengar. It made Ash really, come up with a strategy he had to beat it, he said. Which I love.
Don 007.
And then...
Oh, go ahead.
And then... The final battle, Pikachu versus Metagross. So, what did you say that you didn't like how it turned out, you said?
I think the issue with the Pikachu versus Metagross, like, it was one-sided literally until Ash used the Z move. I don't know if you remember, but, like,
yes.
Pikachu was, like, mad struggling, and then Z move happens, and then, boom, tables turn, Ash wins. It's a little bit on the, how do I say this? It's a bit predictable. I
like...
It looked cool. I mean, I'll give it that. But...
I like it because it goes in along with the games. The Z moves will not miss, and it literally didn't miss because
Right.
it connected eventually with the Metagross, which I love. And the move's supposed to be powerful, so that's why Metagross went down, and then Ash got another attack in, which caused it to faint finally. But yeah, like I don't know, like that's what I think about that. So like I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to seeing Ash versus Steven for a very long time.
Mm.
And honestly, to me, it didn't disappoint. Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, I can agree with what people had issue with, but to me, it was awesome.
Gotcha.
It was literally what I wanted to see. I would have loved it if it was 6-on-6, but I'll take it. How we got it.
That Urshifu's name is Vegeta B.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna read if I get a second. Don007 said controversial opinion, but I'm happy that Ash left. His character won't be changed again and again in order to fit the series. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I think everybody knows what I think, but we will save that.
Yeah,
for
you can go ahead and read your comments. Catch up on that
while I'm playing.
before we go on to the next one.
Nick had an interesting comment that Nick, oh my gosh, they have a buzz hole too. I have competition.
Mirror.
He said, I also think it's a good idea for Ash to leave as well. I feel like early on he was great, but with each gen, nothing really changed. I think introducing new characters hopefully will open the kind of stories. Yeah, I think there is I mean, I will say there is some issues with carrying on as main character for a long time, which there are criticisms to be had with how Ash was handled in certain points of the series. I mean, I'll grant that. And I will admit that the series actually having new protagonists and trying something new is going to be refreshing. It is a major risk. Let's just be honest. It is a major risk that they're taking. So we'll see how everything goes.
Very major risk.
Yeah, and I will discuss that in a little bit once we finish talking about the Masters 8 and then wrapping up Journey's discussion. So we probably should do that. So I'll just talk very briefly about this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but during the Masters 8, we had a lot of problems going on. We had multiple breaks. We had multiple recap episodes, which I didn't watch most of them besides the last one, I think, which had actual information in it.
Ash versus Leon coming up, right?
Yeah, there was one that was showing Leon's team for like half the episode.
Yeah, that was the last one.
That was the only one I watched. I was like, oh, we get to see Leon's team, and then I'm like, at first I was like, ugh, Cinderace and Inteleon, why?
I think I saw the goal.
I lived. But anyways, yeah, we had I understand that the series was having issues, and that's kind of why I wanted them to take like a little bit of a break.
Oh yeah, man. Like when I heard about the issues, I was like, whoa, this is like very serious.
I'm like, it got to the point.
I kind of felt bad for the people.
Yeah, they were getting a lot of.
And maybe we think, to not be too harsh on them, even though it could be relative writing, but if they're also having production issues, then that's a whole nother monster they're dealing with.
But
so maybe I cut myself to be cut back on being harsh.
Right. So anyways, yeah, I think the one problem that I personally had was just like, you can criticize the series, that's fine. I mean, constructive criticism is fine. But don't go out of your way to like harass like the staff and stuff like that. That's not cool. You don't want to do that. And then I think one of them came out and said like, it's like when we see comments like this, it's like, why we just ask ourselves, why are we making the series for you guys? Are you gonna act like this? And it's true.
Yeah, they were like they were getting upset. They were saying stuff like that.
Because they're showing up in the comments as just people just complaining. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'll make my reviews and say, oh, this is my issue of the episode, but I'm not going to be on my way like, oh, we need to go after this writer. He clearly screwed up. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that.
Yeah, like they're saying that they were, sad that they were saying that. And that was crazy too, because like, for Pokemon, we never really saw that like too much. People actually come out and talking about these kinds of topics that were happening. So like that's another thing, for better or worse. Well, that's another thing that Journeys did that you saw like some behind the stuff things that were happening.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. I want to kind of start speeding things up a little bit, just so we're not here for 10 hours. The next thing to talk about is semifinals, and this one I'm definitely not spending a lot of time on because, well, it's the worst match in the entire Masters 8. Diantha versus Leon, which was cut in like half. Rillaboom solos 4 of her Pokemon. The ending was kind of cool, but yeah, I'm just gonna say it was bad.
It was very bad.
Yeah.
And this is where I started to like really dislike. I know like, and this is me coming from someone who's done Pokemon competitively, and I know how busted Rillaboom was in Gen 8. But like, man, I don't know what they were thinking, making it so strong that it literally took out 4 of Diantha's Pokemon, like that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, the worst part is it was off screen.
Yep.
But like they show like one image per every Pokemon getting.
Yeah, that was insulting. Oh, hi, my tent use. Do you guys only play this game? We play multiple games on the channel. Just tonight we're just doing this. Oh, hi, Buzzhole.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, on one hand they were doing Alola very good throughout the whole series. But then they're messing up Kalos like super badly, like with the ninja form being retcon, Alon, and then Diantha now. Like,
yeah, Kalos. Oof. My game just like glitched out. That was weird.
Yeah, I really I don't know. And it sucked too because we knew that it was gonna be only one episode for Diantha, so that's how you know it was gonna be bad.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was even worse than Alon versus Leon. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But,
people were debating about that.
But anyways, I didn't want to dwell on that for a long time, so we'll move on to the actual good battle in the semifinals: Ash versus Cynthia.
Battle of the decade. That was long time coming.
I wouldn't say it's top 5 Pokemon battles, but it's a contender for top 10. It's a solid battle. I enjoyed it. I remember, like, the one thing I remember about this battle too is when it was revealed that Togekiss was Dynamaxing, and we weren't getting Mega Garchomp. I remember people being like, "Oh, they ruined this battle."
Yeah, that was a stretch.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, I kind of wanted it to be like that, Megas versus Megas.
Yeah,
I still think Lucario would have won.
Yeah.
But that was quite a curveball. But I'm sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, and Chest of Greatness actually brought up another thing about it. Cynthia being like, "Oh, after this battle, I'm retiring." As soon as I heard that, I'm like, "Yeah, I guarantee you, when this battle ends, she's gonna be like, nope, that battle was so fun, I'm just gonna keep going," and that's exactly what happened.
I don't know what it reminded me of, but it reminded me of something similar happening in another show. I don't know which one it was. That somebody said that they were gonna retire from that. One final battle, but then they end up not. Also, that kind of reminds me of Beeb. You know how he said he was gonna retire if he lost to the player in the games. Not the same. Way obviously, but it's still a similarity. So I don't know if they bought from that. I don't know. It did feel a little random, but I mean, at the end of the day, I knew Cynthia wasn't gonna retire. Like, I mean, she's the champion. Come on, you're not gonna do that.
Right. 16 people are watching us. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of my best live streams. What's up, y'all? I died.
I have a few more things to say.
I died mid-unit move.
What else do you want to say, Mitchell, about this match?
Sorry, we just lost that match. Oof. So overall, it was pretty nice. I liked how Cynthia was overpowering and overwhelming Ash for the longest time. So Ash was definitely on edge. So they did a good job there, and I like how partway through the match, Ash starts to slowly catch up. I think that was done pretty well. Pikachu getting taken out the way it was in that battle was actually really cool. Pikachu was a problem. Destiny bonds Pikachu right out of existence. But yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Love it.
But yeah, overall, I'm just gonna say it's a very solid battle. So I'll let you give your final thoughts on it.
Okay. I love Spiritomb, man. Like, bro, it was OP in this, and you know, every appearance that Spiritomb's been in, it's always been OP.
Right.
And there's been so very few appearances, but you know, whenever it does show up, it's always a menace. Like in that first episode, because I don't know if you realize this, but in that one episode that appeared in Diamond and Pearl, it went a very long time until we saw it. I think Journeys was next time we saw it. We never saw it again in like a very long time until Journeys.
Right.
And you know, I love how Cynthia used Counter Shield against Ash. And you know, Spiritomb was putting in work.
Wait.
Ash's team.
Wait, did Cynthia use Counter Shield? I thought it was Ash using Counter Shield and then Leon adapted it, or did Cynthia do that? I can't remember.
Wait.
Because I remember Leon did that with his Inteleon.
Hold on, let me look.
That's what I was thinking.
I could be misremembering, but hold on. Let me see. Okay, I missed. It was Ash who did it against Cynthia. That was what I wanted to say. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, Pikachu, you bringing back Counter Shield. That was cool to see. You know, trying to counter Spiritomb. You know, against the Hypnosis, because man, sleep is a broken mechanic.
Anyway, you got anything else?
I loved how, I love how they how the battle went. Like, well, actually, before I talk about my final thoughts, any negatives from this battle? Like how come you say you put it in your top 10, but not like top 5?
I do feel like there's a few other battles that I would place up against this. Obviously, Ash versus Leon is above it. Ash versus Paul, Ash versus Kukui, Ash versus Sawyer in the Kalos League are a couple of examples of battles I would put above this. I'm trying to think what's another good battle off the top of my head. Those are like the main ones I can think of, but it's like I would say I'd put it like solidly in the top 10. I'm not sure if it would be top 5.
Gotcha.
But
oh, yeah.
We probably should wrap it up and move on to the finals.
Ash's Pokemon. Just like how Excadrill did well, you know, during the Iris battle, because that was another Pokemon that I love seeing come back after a while. But with Ash's Pokemon, Kamonegi, or like Sir Knight, you know, the Duck did well. Almost beat Garchomp, forced Cynthia to switch strategies. And just overall, I think the battle was done pretty well. Like, you know, Cynthia, very, very tough opponent for Ash to even win against. I think, yeah. It was a battle that was a long time coming because, you know, since the end of Diamond and Pearl, Ash imagined himself in Flint's shoes, battling Cynthia. And we finally got to see that in Journeys. And I think it was one of the best fights handled in Journeys, hands down.
Yep. I'll give Journeys this. They did handle it pretty well. Why do we have 3 people?
And yeah, it didn't disappoint. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see good battles, and I think this was really one. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Ash versus Cynthia.
Alrighty. So we will move on to the final, and Ash's win against Leon. So I will say that there are some slight issues here and there with the Leon battle. Not perfect. I think the only main, like, I guess bad part in this episode was it was Cinderace going down the way it did. Admittedly, kind of like put a sour taste in my mouth. But
That's the biggest one.
That's probably
the
like,
biggest one.
Yeah, that was like probably the biggest issue with that battle. But I can kind of overlook it for that episode because, wow, was Pikachu versus Charizard just amazing. That actually blew me away. I was not expecting it to be that good.
Well, what about the whole battle, Metro? Like, talk about it.
I'm trying to remember back because it starts off. It's Pikachu versus Cinderace. Cinderace.
It's Gengar versus Inteleon, wasn't it?
Gengar versus Inteleon, where Inteleon uses Counter Shield. That was cool. Gengar eventually uses his Gigantamax. That was the first gimmick that was utilized because Leon's like, "Oh, you can just use all the images. Come at me with everything you got."
Oh, was it Pikachu versus Cinderace? I'm forgetting now. I think it was Pikachu versus Cinderace.
At first, right? Pikachu took some damage. It's just.
Oh yeah, and then they switched.
Yeah.
Then they switched, right?
Yep, and then it was. Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. And then it was Inteleon.
Hold on, let me.
It was Inteleon versus Gengar.
Gengar.
Yep.
Let me see.
It's been a minute. I just remember in the second battle, I want to say he used Dragapult to use Dragon Tail, and he was just like switching out Ash's Pokemon left and right, which I think is the first time that ever happened in the anime, or was ever utilized.
Okay, it was Pikachu versus Cinderace first, and then, yeah, G-Max Gengar versus Inteleon. And yeah, and then, yeah, the dragon. Oh my. No, wait. Wasn't it Mr. Rhyme next?
Mr. Rhyme shows up and takes out Gengar. He had cursed body for like a second, and he kind of just was like, "Nope, I'm just gonna beat you anyways." But the duck also faced off against Mr. Rhyme for a little bit, and
yeah, broke the Psychic terrain.
Yep.
And then he had to switch out for Lucario.
And that was another thing that was surprising about that match was Lucario was the reason Ash won against Cynthia. Lucario goes out like super easy in that battle, which I thought was like a huge surprise. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. When I saw it got the victory against Mr. Rhyme.
At first I was like,
wait a minute. Where is this going? Because did you notice that it seemed like they were going to give each of Ash's Pokemon a win? Because each one kept on getting one victory after the other. Did you notice that as you saw the episodes?
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Everybody got like a major win here and there. Surface was putting in work too.
Yeah. But then that's where they do a curveball in the third episode. But I'm sorry, I might be getting ahead of myself, but yeah, continue what you have left off.
See, I remember with like the last episodes, I'm like, at first I was like, how is Ash gonna win this? Because I'm like, it's probably over, but then Eternatus shows up and it's like, here you go, here's another Dynamax move, go and Gigantamax, and that's when he destroys Cinderace. That was like the one part of the battle where I look at that, I'm like, ooh, that is one awkward decision in the battle, but besides that, it is a very solid battle. But I just think the main highlight for me, it just like, not that the rest of the battle is like completely bad or anything, it's just the final confrontation was so well done. It completely subverted my expectations. I was not expecting to see Ash's like old Pokemon literally show up, and frickin' Pidgeot and Butterfree are there. Like, I was just like, what? When I was watching the episode first, I'm like, there's no way this is real.
I see.
Mm. But anyways, so
Wait, is that all you had to say about that?
yeah, that's all I got to say. Solid battle.
Oh,
The ending is great. Pikachu. Oh, I guess one more thing I should say. I like the fake out because there's 2 fake outs.
oh,
Because there's fake out number 1.
I know what you mean.
Oh, jeez. The first fake out was when Pikachu fell over. Because when that happened, I'm like that's it. It's a wrap, boys.
Mhm.
We tried our best. And then, no. Suddenly they show that flashback with all the Pokemon, and then he gets that like Super Saiyan power up out of nowhere, which
Yeah.
which was cool. And then it gives you another jump scare because it looks like Pikachu's like in the hospital or something, like he's like been out for a while. And it's like, don't you remember what happened? And then it shows Pikachu defeating Charizard and the way it did. That was really well done. Everything about that was cool. That's how you like write a battle right there.
I see.
Dang it.
Well,
Scyther's really
for
strong.
me, going back to like I was saying with Ash's, it seemed like they were gonna give all of Ash's teammates, at least 1 win each. But then they throw a curveball with the Rillaboom. Oh my god! It beat Surfetch.
Mm-hmm.
Surfetch is unguardable. Sorry, I'm
You're
mixing
fine.
them. But yeah, I was really hoping the Duck would have defeated Rillaboom. It made sense. It almost beat Garchomp.
Yeah.
Did very well. It beat my Milotic, from Cynthia. But man, I don't know, man. That Rillaboom really was getting on my nerves.
Yeah, I wasn't really too satisfied with his Rillaboom, how it was treated.
Yeah. But at the very least, what happened was, he put in work so that Jacobus could, do the blow. Because you didn't have that scene of, Surfetch showing up before he does the finishing blow on it. So that was cool. And, that Dragon Ball was like, oh, but at least, it was using the strategy because we had seen Dragon Tail before, but it never really used the effect of switching out because at least the one that I remember clearly was, Trip's Superior was the one that used Dragon Tail. Like, that's the most memorable one to me. He used Dragon Tail against Pikachu during the league, especially.
Uh-huh.
But this was really the first time we saw the effects of Dragon Tail switching out various members of a team.
Mm.
So, when it did that, it was doing major damage to everybody on the team. But, at the end, Dragon Knight was able to win and take out that Dragon Ball, who took out, the Choreo. So that was satisfying. But yeah, like, it really made me wonder, like, oh my god, how is Ash gonna win this? Because, like, man, Leon seems like so much ahead. And honestly, if he didn't have the gimmicks, I don't know. Like, I don't think Ash would have won with his team. I think he really would have had to have his reserve Pokemon show up to help him out. Because then you even have Eternatus show up to help out with the extra Dynamax turn.
Mm.
And it was both sides. Because they did like an Alola League kind of differently.
Mm.
But yeah, like, it was cool seeing G-Max Pikachu one last time.
Yep.
And then that ending with the, Ash Pikachu versus Charizard. It was just done perfect, man. I did not expect to see some of the Pokemon, like, Ambipom, Naganadel was there too. Even, Butterfree, Primeape, all of Ash's Pokemon really, that he's met over the course of the journey. All into, giving Pikachu the push and hope to continue the battle and ultimately, making Ash the world champion. What better conclusion to, Journeys with that?
Alrighty, and with that said, I think we're gonna move on to the last section here, for Journeys at least, and then we'll move on to our thoughts on the news we got today. So, as a whole, what are your thoughts about Journeys? And then I'll give mine. Just overall.
Did we talk about Project Me?
We talked about Project Me already.
Yeah. Okay. So my final thoughts on as the journey as a whole. Right?
Yeah, just like Pokemon Journeys, like this series. Like some final thoughts on what you think.
I think the concept was good. Having to go through all the regions together. There's a lot of possibility adventures that Ash would have had. Even with Go as well. I just feel like they really needed to have more of a solid plan for, because it was all over the place. And although there's certain stuff that there's there's like quite a bit of good things that happened throughout Journeys. I can't say it's my favorite series, not by a long shot.
Yeah.
Like, I will say it's better. Like, nothing is ever gonna be as bad as the first series, the Kanto Journey. However, I don't know. To me, it's bottom, second to last.
It's kind of geared towards that way for me too.
Like, I really hate to say it, but like, I just think the other series just did much better things than what Journeys did. Like, I didn't want it to be like that. I really thought things would turn up. At certain points, they did, but then it's just like how you guys were talking about earlier. Before you started streaming, how it'd be like one good episode a week, one bad episode, back and forth like that. I don't know. Like I said, it's not the worst series, but it definitely could have been better.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm just one more thing. And I just hope that what's coming next for Ash turns out to be. But yeah, that's it.
Gotcha. So
your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are, I think I would probably rank this series like, yeah, even though Pikachu versus Charizard really was like arguably one of the best moments in the entire series, yeah, I would probably rank Journeys as a whole pretty lowly. For me, this is just my personal preference. I think the Johto portion of the original series is my least favorite, just because it was the first time they did like the 3-year series, but it just was not really good. Plus the GS ball plotline was like probably one of the worst like drop plots in the entire series. But I mean, it has its ups and downs, but there's just a lot of things at the end of the series that I'm just like kind of just shocked that they didn't even try to finish up on. Like Koharu, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with her. Go, I really feel like they messed up at the end, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Chloe. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably say, like, if I'm being honest, like, I mean, I'm going to be doing my End of Journeys review. I think overall I would give it like either a 5 or 6 out of 10.
I see.
Depends. I mean, when I did my 1-year review for it, I gave it a 6. It's somewhere around there still, unfortunately.
Oh. I understand. I understand.
So.
Wait. So, what is this? What does Go rank for you in companions? Just saying.
Maybe B.
B?
If I were to give him a tier list, it'd probably be a B. B. But if I
Oh, yo, we're gonna do another tier list?
another tier list. No, probably not. Brock is my personal favorite character. Well, along with May, excuse me.
Okay, so for males, it's Brock.
Males it's Brock, then probably Clement, and Kiawe.
Really?
And,
Okay.
And then probably Go, maybe.
Where does Tracy fall?
Tracy and Max are the bottom. For me.
Who's at the bottom?
Max.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just not a big fan of Max. He was never. Oh.
Continue.
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry.
He was
I
never what?
trying to score here. I never really cared for Max. I always kind of just found him annoying. I remember watching Advanced Series back in the day. I'm like, why is this kid here?
Okay.
But
Alright. Continue.
So I'd say, like, kind of just to sum up here, and I'm gonna probably do an End of Journeys review since it seems like people want me to do it. Yeah, I'd probably just give the series maybe like 5 or 6 out of 10. There are some episodes that I enjoy more now, and then there's some episodes I enjoy less. I apparently like Tracy according to Nicked. But, anyways, if
Oh, I see you. Oh, Boomer.
it was
I see what he's saying.
oh, he like I was gonna say I think he likes the series. That's fine. Everybody has their preferences. No judging.
I'm agree with Goal and Chloe should have had more.
Devin gave it a 4 out of 10, as expected.
I see.
We know how you feel about the series, Devin. Every single episode review. I love it though. You're cool though.
You know, I think at the end of the day, I know it's not perfect, and like I said, it's not really. I don't know. It's in the middle for me. Like, you know how I feel about it.
So I'll just say this really quickly. Even though I have mixed feelings on this series, the reason why I have this YouTube channel and how I've done so well is because of the series. So I do have to give the series credit for that. I've met a lot of you because of this series. So in a sense, you know, Journeys has, you know, changed my life a little bit in that regard. So I will say that is pretty cool. And actually being able to review it. I remember a few years ago watching KG and the guys, and I never really was interested back then, and then when people stopped reviewing it, I was like, you know what? I think I'll talk about the series. And so I did. And my videos were awkward at first, but I eventually got used to it, so here I am.
That's the great thing about Pokemon, man. It brings a lot of us together.
It brings everyone together. Wait a second. Katie has a question. She says, "Won't you make a video on the next Boruto because it's kind of boring?" No, I'm so. Chat. I'm probably not making a video episode review on this chapter. I was not happy with the spoilers.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I'll see it. There's one thing I saw.
It literally went back to. Oh, just wait until you see the chapter. I'm not going to say any more, but oh boy.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is the shipping wars have been reignited.
I know. That's why I'm kind of excited to see.
Oh.
I saw a little bit about it.
So.
But hold on. But you're gonna review the Retsuden novel too, right? That gets animated.
I might consider doing it for the anime since it is coming. I am considering it. I was thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll review the anime again when they do canon stuff, and I guess since this is a manga, I guess it kind of counts, but we got a little while before Code shows up again. It's been over a year, but anywho, that's a discussion for another day. So now that we've completed that, I want to move on to what we got today.
Oh yeah.
So, this was the one thing I've been kind of like teasing people for a while. So, As we learned today, I mean, there's a special.
Wait.
What's up?
Yeah. What do you want to start with? Special next week.
There's a special next week. I'm not really.
You want to go in order?
I mean, there's a special next week. I'm not really like super interested in that episode. I'll probably talk about it, but the main meat is all the stuff that's coming in 2023. So, as we learned today, there's going to be 11 episodes. It's going to be a mini series called Pokemon Aim to be a Pokemon Master. And as stated today, it is officially the final chapter of Ash's story. And I was pretty surprised at how blunt they were with that, to be completely honest. I was like, when I saw the announcement, I'm like, oh, this is what they're doing. And then they had to throw that in there. I'm like, oh, okay then. So my thoughts are, I actually think this is a brilliant way to finalize the series. And it's kind of ironic too, and I'm actually gonna be making a video about this too, because as you guys know, I have for a while have said that I really feel like Journey should be like Ash's last series, just because him going up against Leon and winning is kind of a big deal. And one thing I always noticed that people would come back and say to me is like, well, Mitchell, Ash is not a Pokemon Master yet. He can't lead the series until he becomes one. And that's the ironic thing about this, because it seems like this mini-series is going to be addressing that. I never thought they would actually do that, because in the preview, Gary is talking to Ash and is like, so since you beat the Masters 8 tournament, what is a Pokemon Master? And it seems like Ash is like stumped when he asks that. Because I mean, that's the thing, is we don't know what a Pokemon Master is. He just says it's much more than like beating Leon and stuff like that. So I think that this is a really cool premise. This is, I think by doing this is a great way to like end off his character. I mean, I can understand people, you know, being upset, and that's fine. There's a part of me that's a little upset that that's happening, but if there's a way to end off Ash's character on a solid note, not only did we get him to win the Masters 8 tournament, but now they're actually addressing the Pokemon Master thing. That is great, in my opinion. And it seems like we're going to see some characters we haven't saw in a long time. Starting with Brock and Misty. It seems like we might be getting more, but that's to be seen. So, we're finally going to get that, and once the 11 episodes are up, that's it. Ash's story will finally conclude. So, I besides that, and besides like seeing Brock and Misty, I'm hoping that other characters return. And I don't know if they will do this, but I feel like they need to do a time skip at the end. Just end it off like that, and then we move on to the brand new series, which we'll talk about in just a second. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Emerald, what are your thoughts on all of this? Whenever you got a second.
Oh, like I mentioned before, well, I mentioned this like throughout the day, but seeing that last episode today, I don't know, but like, I don't know about you, but it got me emotional. And then when I saw the news that Ash was going to his final adventures, made me sad, like a lot of people.
Mm.
I didn't think we would actually have this news happen. Cause like Ash, like the anime, like, you know, is heavily connected with Ash. He's like been there since day one, along with Pikachu. And now to see that they're actually ending his adventures, I don't know. Like other people have said, it feels like a part of my childhood is gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So it's just funny too, cause like I honestly, even though I wanted this to be Ash's last series, there was a part of me that was like, they're not gonna do it. And they announced a couple weeks ago, they're like, oh yeah, Ash's story is continuing. So I'm like, oh, he's coming to Paldea, and then they do this. So I'm like, they probably should have said, yeah, his journey is continuing for like 11 more episodes. But
I honestly thought,
mhm.
you know, since we weren't getting an announcement for another anime, I thought they were actually going to do what they did with the original series, you know, have it last longer, you know. They're gonna continue journeys into Paldea. But then I was like, I don't think so, but it was just getting weird how, you know, we passed the time, you know, when a new generation starts, you know, because we're literally in Gen 9, even right now. Or we're still in the Gen 8 anime. At least we were until today. And then, you know, then this gets dropped on us.
Yeah, it was kind of a shock, but like that was the thing. I had a suspicion something was going on, because I'm like, there had to be like, I knew something had to be going on behind the scenes. So I'm like, they had to have, like, normally they would post like a poster for the next series like at least 2 months in advance. And when that didn't come, that's when I was getting a little bit more nervous, and people on social media were bringing that up, and people were arguing back, oh, they're not going to get rid of Ash. They can't. You know, he's the main character. They can't do that. You know, and so, like, a part of me is like, well, I was 50-50 with it. Oop, wrong way. But seeing the news, it still kind of shocked me, because I'm like, they're actually doing it. They're actually removing Ash as the main character and retiring him, which it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be a rough day for a lot of people when that day comes. I believe I've estimated that it's probably gonna happen in late March. Is gonna be the last episode. So
I think so too, because if you notice, the next series is supposed to start in April. I think they're trying to line it up with the start of the series, you know, in April, how it started out that month back then.
Right. So I am actually just really curious about the series. Like I said, I'm excited because I really feel like, you know, if we are, you know, ending Ash's story, I feel like this is the right way to do it. Everything about this, I think, is the right way to do it and the right way to handle it. You're bringing back old characters in a way that I think we wanted to see in Journeys. You're having Ash address the Pokemon Master question. And yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, and we'll talk about it in just a second, but like with the new series coming, we have new characters that will take the spotlight, and sure, they might not be Ash, but we have new characters that we're gonna see their stories now. So I'm very curious to see how things are gonna go. I am a little nervous, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a major risk for the series that may or may not pay off. So hopefully things work out.
So yeah, I didn't think they would do this because, like I mentioned, you know, we have a new generation. I thought they were gonna continue Ash and Paldea. You know, like this is something I thought about too. You know, like you mentioned, he has become the world champion. Like, where did they take him from this? Like, cause this, okay, I didn't mention this in the Journeys review, but there was one thing I didn't like what they did in this, and that was that they made Ash lose to some random people. You know, like, I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, but he got beat by random people, and then he never rematched them. To get even. I don't know. Like, I guess to me it rubbed me the wrong way because I wanted him to get revenge, but you know, because you know, showing that he was just going through a rough time with his new Pokemon that he just caught. You know. I don't know. That's just something that I didn't like, and you know, and at that point he was the champion too. You know, the champion of Alola. Like, because they never really showed that with the other champions, them losing, like it almost seems like they're supposed to be invincible, but then you have Ash here lose. And granted, we also saw Lance lose, but that was to another champion, not to some random trainer. I don't know. It just, I do know what you're saying. I just wish Ash was going to continue still.
Yeah. See,
I
that's...
don't know. Without Ash, the anime isn't the same.
Yeah. It was...
But like, it's not like I'm not gonna give it a chance.
See, before this even happened, I've been thinking about making a video about this too, which I'm glad I didn't, but I've been thinking that it's like, well, if Ash is going to continue, what can they do with him at this point? Because, like, you can't have him go to the academy. I mean, it would be just a repeat of the Pokemon School in Alola. It would feel like that, at least. The Titan and Team Star stuff is pretty cool, but that feels kind of secondary. It feels like you kind of need, like, a main plot, so it's like, what can you do? That's why that's why I've been unsure for a long time. So, we'll see what happens.
There's for next week's episode as well. I forgot to mention. It seems like it's gonna be alternate universe Ash, don't you think?
That's what I started to think, because like when I first made my video this morning, I'm like, oh, that's original series. But then I looked at it closer. I'm like, actually, is that the like?
And it has the same art style.
Yeah.
Like on the poster, like when they first started using alternate universe Ash, it seems like it's that art style. So I don't think it's the main Ash. It's the alternate Ash.
Yeah.
I know somebody was trying to bring that up in the chat too, and I do think that's the case.
Probably.
Because we know for sure next year when when the second project, the 11 episode, that's going to be main Ash.
Yeah.
But next week, I think it's just like a one-side story, Haruto. So yeah, well, I'll see how it goes. Like, I think it's just gonna be like a regular episode time limit. Like from what it seems, it's just gonna be like a special one-side story, right?
Yeah, I'm not like. I mean, no offense to this special episode, but compared to the other news we got, I'm not as interested in this one. Plus, it does feel a little on the fillerish side. But I will check it out and see how it goes. But yeah, I mean this 11 episode epilogue too. It's also interesting because it's a clear like it's like more of like an epilogue to Journeys, but also an epilogue to this portion of the anime.
I think it's an epilogue to the whole anime as a.
Because I think, from what I understand, apparently the dub is considering this part of Ultimate Journeys. Well, whereas
I saw that too.
Whereas Japan is considering it like kind of like its own thing. They're calling it. I think it's Pokemon Aim to be a Pokemon Master.
Yeah, Mezase Pokemon Master. Yeah, Aim to be a Pokemon Master.
Yep, that's what I thought. Oh, jeez.
Oh, Mitchell, wait.
What's up?
Do you recall that news we had? Like, for the Pokemon Company, how they showed how Ultimate Journey was supposed to be like 50 episodes, they said at one time?
I remember that.
Do you think this is why
maybe
they said that?
Maybe this was an accident on our
maybe
part.
They slept up.
And this was supposed to be like a secret and someone messed up.
Yeah.
That could be
I'm thinking about that now. Like, maybe that's why they retracted that statement.
It could be.
Because it is. Because you do bring up the point that, they are considering this to be part of Ultimate Journey. And now, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that fit, like, with that news that came out back then? That was going to be, like, 50-ish episodes?
It could. You have to go back and re-add everything and see if it adds up. But, yeah, it might actually end up lining up. But we will see what happens. I am just genuinely curious. I'm, in a way, like, as sad as things are, I'm a little excited to see what these 11 episodes are going to be about. So I guess we will find out what happens in January.
Oh, about that.
Uh-huh.
They're going to have all of Ash's companions show up, they said.
That's what I've heard. And so far, Brock and Misty are confirmed. I want to...
They're going to be traveling with Ash.
Mm-hmm. That's actually really cool. That's really cool. It's like, and not only is that a great way to end off Ash's character, but all these other characters, I feel like they're sending off everybody probably. And speaking of that, another character, another set of characters that are probably we're gonna be saying goodbye to as well, Team Rocket.
Rocketodan.
Yeah, Because like somebody, I was reading something online like, oh, they might just show up and like go after like the new kids. I'm like, well, it wouldn't be the same though. What would they say? Like, oh, we gave up on Pikachu, now we're going for this kid's grass cat.
Sprigatito.
Exactly. I'm like, if you're gonna end off Ash's character, I think Team Rocket probably needs to have a send off too. And see, and this is another thing too. If you remember from oh, I got ulted. But
I thought something, but go ahead, you first.
If you remember the Cassidy and Butch episode,
that was what I was thinking right now. Yeah.
This is something I mentioned in my review back a couple months ago, and we completely got blown out here. So in that episode, we learned that Cassidy and Butch they quit Team Rocket, and obviously they said that there's more to life than being part of Team Rocket. And in my eyes, I saw that I'm like, if they're gonna end the series, I feel like they should utilize this so that Team Rocket start thinking about that. Because then they were thinking about that in the episode, and they like fake quit for a little bit until they just came back like, oh yeah, we're gonna be part of Team Rocket, lol.
It was like DP, when that one episode when they departed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been a couple episodes I think they departed, but yeah, I know what you mean.
So I'm curious to see like what's gonna happen with them in this 11 episodes. Because if we're gonna conclude Ash's story, we have to end their story as well. So
that's funny because they actually have done some stuff, like with the radio show they've had, live streaming at the stadium as well.
Yeah,
I think what?
They could be like us and be streamers.
Exactly. that wouldn't be bad. Like you do bring up the point, how Butch and Cassidy, have left Team Rocket, and I did find it weird back then, but I don't know, maybe that's they're sending Team Rocket a message, that there's more to Team Rocket than
there's more to life than just being limited to Team Rocket.
Mm-hmm. But that also brings up another thing.
Do
you think they would end Team Rocket have Ash battle Giovanni? And then
go ahead.
I feel like if they, I don't know, wouldn't that have to happen? Don't you think? I mean, in the games, they get disbanded, but yet throughout everything so far in the anime, they haven't been disbanded at all.
Right.
So maybe they could take that approach too. We finally have a proper battle of Ash versus Giovanni.
They could actually wrap that up and cause Team Rocket to disband in the anime. That is true. Because that's something that's still ongoing, and Giovanni hasn't been dealt with, so hope maybe they'll do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Jerome's here. I just want a time clip where we see an older Ash. We could get that. Oh my gosh, who is hitting me up with like a million messages? Oh my gosh, Braden. Oh.
Oh no.
Anyways, so I just kind of want to talk about that briefly. So those are just my thoughts. Jerome, you could also join VC and give your thoughts.
I also have
that's up to you.
A couple of my thoughts to give.
We'll let Emerald go, and then we can also talk about the new series, which that'll be the final topic. But yeah, I'll let you give your thoughts now.
So, with this 11 series, we know that, it's going to revolve around Ash traveling with Misty and Brock again to the regions. I don't know about Paldea, but at least the first 8. And another thing that got me excited is we're going to see all of Ash's Pokemon again. You saw the poster, right?
Yeah.
All of them, even the ones he released, are going to be coming back too.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, that's why they're on the poster.
Okay.
Everybody's going to be shown.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised, like, cause like we haven't seen this one yet, but Nebby is there too, in the poster.
Mm.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Jerome, I don't think the new series is going to be seasonal, but I kind of almost think that might be the approach they should probably take, but who knows. We're almost there, though.
And yeah, like, so with that being said, I'm hoping for we get some very cool interaction, which it seems like we're going to. We see a bunch of his Pokemon, the mini trailer that we get. But I'm hoping like we get some more wrap up, with Ash, with certain characters. Like, here's my hopes. I hope that we get a battle between Ash versus Alon. I feel like we really need that the most. Like one final showdown, and this time there's no Master 8 to, put an excuse that he can't bring back Greninja. Right?
Mm.
I hope we get that. Maybe bring in Lance, have them battle, because there's something that I didn't bring up, when we talked about journeys. But do you remember that preview that they showed all of them battling each other in the preview? Like before the tournament started? It was wild because it seemed like they were all battling at the same time in the stadium, but at different points. So I kind of wanted them to do an open battle royale before the actual tournament started, and we had those we would have had cool interactions, seeing Ash versus champions he hasn't battled yet. But that didn't end up happening, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they could still show us some battles that we haven't seen yet, Ash versus Lance.
Yeah, I will say though, it is 11 episodes, so I don't know how much they're going to be able to fit in 11 episodes, so we'll see what happens. I am genuinely curious to see what happens. We need some more information because I don't even think we have a summary for the first episode, so
we don't.
Yeah, we don't. So we'll probably be getting that information maybe soon or maybe at the beginning of the year. Who knows? I want to say.
And then
the TV guide should be.
Yep. Here's another thing. We see Gary as well. We see him talk to Ash, so he's definitely gonna be in there too. And I like that. The OG rival is gonna be there for Ash. So I'm hoping that how he got Reggie Draco. I'm hoping Ash gets to battle him with that Reggie Draco. I hope they have one final battle together, at least one final battle, for old time's sake.
Yeah.
Join the OG rival and Ash. Other than that, there's a few other characters I wish we could have seen, because we didn't talk about this, but do you remember the cameos that we saw throughout the Masters 8? What did you think about them?
Some of them were pretty nice. Obviously, they didn't have speaking roles, but I thought they were pretty neat. There were some characters that I was kind of surprised made cameos that I wasn't expecting to. Especially some...
Jimmy from the Legend of Thunder.
If I remember correctly, there was a couple characters a day that literally showed up there, which is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're from the Horn Week. For the most part, the ones that were from characters of the... But then there's some that they didn't show. I know this is controversial, but we didn't see Cameron when they showed the Unova rivals. And we didn't see Burgundy either.
I was gonna say, we don't talk about Cameron anymore.
But we also didn't see Virgil, the last rival of Ash.
Yeah.
That, sadly he never got to battle. And I was hoping he would show up at least. Because, he did become the champion.
Yeah.
So that's another person I'm hoping they show when he goes to Unova and they have a battle.
So
I don't know, maybe throwing Cameron there.
before we go on to the last segment, I'm just gonna look at some comments. Do you think Ash will battle Red? Probably not, since Ash is literally Red's counterpart in the anime.
And Mitchell.
What's up?
And there's one more thing. And this has to do with Alola.
Yes.
I hope we get to see Kukui's last Pokemon. And the mystery Pokemon that Ash saw in Ultra.
Maybe. We'll see.
I know it's far-fetched, but that's another thing. Because, if they ended, Oh, what's Kukui's last Pokemon? That's one of the mysteries that we still don't know this day.
I thought it was gonna be a Galar Pokemon, but nah, they didn't do that.
Calyrex.
Calyrex. Like, yeah, I got this Pokemon. I just went to the Crown Tundra this one time, and he's just there.
But yeah, but like my last thoughts on that, you know, whatever happens, I hope they do it justice for Ash.
Yep.
Come next year.
Yeah, that's
And
what.
you know, as sad as it will be,
You know,
hopefully, at least I'll be ready. People as well
you'll be a
to
little
say
bit
goodbye to
prepared.
Ash.
At least it's not like you got to the end, they're like, oh, yep, goodbye. You're at least anticipating it a little bit.
Yeah, I can't say I'm happy,
Yeah.
but hopefully I'll be ready by then.
Admittedly, when I
Of
watched
course
the
you are.
episode today, I will say this: when I watched the episode today, I was like half awake, so I was trying to.
Oh,
I know when it got towards the end, I was starting to wake
You
up at
woke
that
up?
point, but just because I only had like 5 hours of sleep, so I was like, I gotta watch this episode.
gotcha.
But anyways,
And with that, like, you know, those are my thoughts.
alrighty, we're gonna move
We
on.
can move on to the last section
This will be the last section.
if you're ready.
Matt will be home soon, so I was hoping to get to this part before he shows up, because he's gonna show up and be like, alright, and have his takes on the anime, which is he's not a big fan. So before we get there, let's talk about it. So with the announcement that Ash is leaving, we did get the announcement that there's a brand new series, totally brand new. I don't even think the name's out for it. But
It's not.
yeah, I was gonna say they said there's just a new series starting in April, starring 2 new characters. It's clearly taking place in the Paldea region. We have the starters that show up there. It looks like there's 2 main characters, kind of like Journeys, but just no Ash and Go. It's I want to say the girl's name is Rico. I want to say, if I remember correctly, and then the boy's name is Roy. Our boy Roy.
Yep.
Our boy Roy.
Enrico. Oh no.
I know. I had to say it. Oh, what? Oh, frickin'
Smack.
Sableye got me. Yeah, our boy Roy. But yeah,
That's good. Like it.
there is not enough information right now, so the opinions are very limited at this point. But I'm intrigued. Like I said earlier, I am a little nervous. This is a huge risk that they're taking. They're doing something that a lot of other series like Digimon and like Yu-Gi-Oh have done, where they've changed the main character.
Yokai Watch 2.
Yokai Watch as well, yep. But we're gonna see how this works for Pokemon now. Who's surrendering?
What do you think, Metro?
I
Do you think this person is, you know, at least the girl is related to Ash? That's when one question people have been talking about.
I see that. At the moment, I'm kind of unsure. I don't want to make assumptions. I'm personally, at this point, I try to like make sure that like I got all my information correctly, just because I've already been burned on that before, once or twice. But I will say she does bear a little bit of a resemblance to both Ash and, well, can I say it without?
Yes.
Yes, Ash and Serena. So we will see. My goodness, Sableye is way too strong. But it could be. There's a possibility that we're getting a major time skip, and this is like 20 years, like 25 years later. They could even say that it's like 25 years have passed or something like that, because it would reflect 25 years of Ash being in the anime. That'd be weird. And then, you know, and at the same time too, Ash could still be a character that exists. Like I have a feeling that this takes place in the same world. It's just, you know, a different time possibly.
At the very least, I hope if Ash doesn't show up, then at least he's a legend that people know about.
Yep,
him.
and that's what they're aiming for. That's what another thing I was thinking of. Like they realize that Ash is a super strong trainer, so they want to work up to him. and he's the goal. You know how cool that would be? It's like the opposite of how Journeys went with like Leon or whatever. Now people are working up to beat Ash. That's actually like that would be a cool concept. I mean, they did say that Ash's part in the story is done, so we'll see what their plan is.
I think what you were gonna say. I mean, anything else? Yeah.
I'm done for the time being. I'm just
Let's go.
concentrating on this Unite match, so you can go ahead. Oh, I just got killed by Rayquaza. I think we won.
Honestly,
What's up?
I think Rico, or as she's being translated in some cases, Rico. I think she is. I think they're gonna do what they've been doing with animes nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna be related to Ash. Might be her daughter too.
So they're pulling.
She has.
Oh.
She has the symbol of Ash's first hat as a clip on her head.
I see that.
Kind of looks like Ash too.
A little bit, yeah. Do you think that the boy is related, or do you think that the boy is maybe like Go's son?
I can see that, but maybe it's both his kids.
Like the series as both of his kids. That would be kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So
I could see someone else too. Like, it's just a random, well, not random, but another main character. But I don't know. At the very least, I do like what they're doing. Like it shows that we come a long way since 1997. That we're gonna have a female. Like, this is something I've actually thought about too. That having a female main protagonist in Pokemon. Like, I was literally thinking about this the other day as well. Like, that'd be pretty cool, but I didn't know if we were actually gonna get that or not until today, obviously. And I don't know, like, a part of me wants it to be, family member of Ash, his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I'm just getting up to turn on the light for Matt.
There's just a lot of mysteries left. We don't know a lot about the series, but
Yeah.
I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm interested to see what they'll do. So, we don't have a lot of information right now, so until more information comes out, I'm just gonna keep those as my thoughts for the time being.
Go times Chloe.
Oh God, Jerome, if you want to come on here and just give your quick thoughts, you can if you want to. It's up to you though. I just see you guys in the chat. I'll be completely honest, guys. I do apologize. I've had a hard time paying attention to chat just because I've been doing the discussion plus Unite. And it's been a little bit of a rough night on Unite, not gonna lie. It hasn't been the best night, but I'm still hanging in Class 4. You like chatting? Okay, gotcha. You don't have to come in here if you don't want to, but I just figured I'd give you the option because we're pretty much done now. So if you wanted to come in and say something, now's your opportunity. You can overpower text chat. Rico gets green cat. Roy gets best crocked.
So, what do you think about this as well, Mitchell?
What's up?
Do you think there's gonna be a Pikachu involved? Because besides Ash, the other mascot of the franchise is Pikachu.
I get that.
Do you think she will have a Pikachu partner as well?
I understand that.
I know we didn't see it in the poster, but yeah. Go ahead.
I understand that Pikachu is the mascot. It just wouldn't feel the same with another Pikachu. That's just how I feel. Like, you could have another Pikachu show up, it just wouldn't feel the same. I feel like what they probably just need to do is it just needs to be a whole new take on Pokemon and just try new things, take some risks, and just see what works. I feel like one thing, I guess another thing, really quickly, another thought that I do have is I wouldn't mind if like maybe like each series now they switch up protagonists so that we get different ones each series. I think it would kind of make things, you know, fresh each time. I'm actually curious to see what their goals will be. That's one thing I'm kind of looking into and looking forward to. Like, they could be working up to Ash. It could be something else. It could be something to do with Paldea. They could make up something original. We'll just have to see what they decide to do in April. We'll probably be getting some new information in the next, like, 2 months. What's up?
Do you think she'll be voiced by Rika Matsumoto, Ash's voice actress? Because, you know, without Ash, you know, once the anime is over for him, do you think she will still be in the anime? You know, work on the anime.
She could still do like some of the main themes too. She does sing a lot of the songs. I'm not sure. I know that from what I understand, her voice acting roles have kind of dwindled over time, as from what I understand. So this might be her like potentially retiring from voice acting, though she could still be going. I mean, look at Goku's VA. She's in her mid-80s and she's literally still going, so you never know.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's something I just thought about right now. Like, is she still gonna be a part of the anime? Like, you know, is she gonna voice her? Because, you know, I know we're gonna lose Ash, but what does that leave for, you know, the voice actors as well?
It's really hard to say. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Rika wants to retire. Maybe. That's what Jerome said. Alright, this is your last opportunity, Jerome. If you want to jump in here, it's up to you. Because I'm pretty much all set. After this match, after this Unite match, we'll probably wrap up the stream. This has actually been a pretty interesting stream despite the fact that I've lost a lot tonight. But
you know?
I wish I could have actually read the chat a little bit more. That's the only regret I have. It's kind of hard to do two different things and then try to read chat. But yep, go ahead, Emerald.
So, do you have any more thoughts? Because, like, I have one. I guess I have really one more.
I'm pretty much all set.
So this is something that I mentioned this, I believe, in your review. Either the live one or the comment one. You know, comment section, that is. When Ash and Leon had the last episode when they fought. It didn't happen there, but... Wait, is your stream okay?
Uh-oh. Is it freezing up? It might be. Shoot. Actually...
Oh, it's back.
I think the voice is fine, it's just the game. I don't know why this happens. Can you hear me fine? Uh-oh. Did it just, like, completely die on me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. It's just the same.
Why? I mean, this is towards the end anyways, but yeah. Just go ahead and... I believe people can hear you. So, go ahead.
How about Pikachu's voice actor?
Oh my gosh! It's Jerome, what's up?
I'm doing good, Mitchell. How about you?
I'm doing alright.
Yeah, rough day at Unite.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, say hi to Emerald. He's a bit...
Hello, Emerald. It's lagging, I suppose.
Yeah, we're kind of lagging at the moment. I don't know why that happens. But
Odd.
But I'm glad you're here.
Thanks. So this is great
by the way.
news.
What's up, Emerald?
Still here.
Gotcha.
No, I'm still here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just give me a moment.
All right. Well, we got.
And
The,
hopefully your stream, turns out well.
yeah, we're at the end anyways, but we're at least I think they can hear us anyways, so that's the most important part. So I guess while you're here, Jerome, do you have any quick thoughts? Like
About
episode wise?
the new Pokemon anime?
Yeah.
Team Rocket should follow them. Should follow the new characters
Why is that?
for comedy purposes.
Well then, so they're not going after Pikachu. Who would they be trying to get then?
It'll be shoot. What
Yeah.
should we? No, they should not follow them. They should be like the new boss of Team Rocket.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was like the one question. It's like there's kind of a reason why that kind of a reason why Team Rocket is following Ash, and it's because of Pikachu. And if it's not Pikachu, it's got to be something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're to be the new boss for Team Rocket, and you're married.
They're
There we
married.
go. Happy ending.
All right.
Just like in the manga.
All right, we'll go with that then.
Yes. Because the manga ain't the manga canon.
I don't know. I don't think so. Spin
It's
off.
the whole thing. Well, regardless, they should marry.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Huh, interesting.
Because in the manga, Jessie is pregnant.
I know.
So it has to happen.
Okay.
Haha.
Oh, why is it lagging?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just internet. But anyways,
But I'll be happy if the girl character is Ash's daughter and Serena's.
could be.
And Roy will be Go and Chloe's son.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for your input. As the stream is lagging out. Emerald.
Yeah.
I know you were you had something you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
I know that Serena's the talk, since X and Y. But to me, it was always like Haruka or May, really.
What about Drew?
Forget you.
Oh, forget you.
But like that. But that's just me though. Like I always thought they had more of a connection together, basically. Ever since I was a kid, like that was the person, I guess. Until Serena, obviously. But I don't know. Like it could be either, because they both have blue eyes.
True.
If you notice. That'd be very interesting.
What are they hiding from us?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about the last thing I
We won.
wanted to talk to you about.
Okay, go ahead. This is the last match I'm doing for Unite, so go ahead.
So, I really hope at the end of this, of the 11 episode miniseries,
Uh-huh.
I hope they ended up with Type Wild, the original one. The Sun and Moon one is good, but I think you gotta go with the original, just to end out the series
You know
with
what?
it.
I agree with you. That would be great. Let's make so hopefully that happens.
Mm-hmm. That's my one wish. Like I said, I wanted it to be during Ash vs. Leon, but we still got the other song. But I feel like since this is gonna be the end of Ash's journey, you need to play that song. It's about Ash and Pikachu after all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they.
And, it's the same with the Alolan version, but you know that one has like everybody, including everybody in Ash's journey in Sun. But the original one is Ash and Pikachu. You know their journey together. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's like the one thing I hope happens by the end of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Nice win, Mitchell.
Thanks. I literally forced them to surrender.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Mitchell. What were you gonna say?
I've pretty much wrapped up my thoughts. I think this was actually a really good stream, despite me losing a lot.
Well, at least you ended with a victory, a W.
We had a lot of people here. We got up to like 16 people, which I think is like the second most I've ever had. The most I ever had was on an Ocarina of Time one. I got up to like 22 briefly, and then it dropped to like 10. But yeah.
So yeah, what's your thoughts on the song? That's all you thought about it?
The what song?
Type Wild. That they should end it off with that.
I said that they should. That sounds like a great idea.
Mm.
Someone requested me to be a friend. Oh. Okay. Alright. Just gonna wrap up a few things here. Mitchell, buy me Pokemon cards.
Oh, so you said you're gonna like you're not sure yet if you're gonna review the new series, right? Like, but you at least will check it out, right?
Yes. Right now, the plan, I'll be honest, the plan right now is to review the last 11 episodes. Next special, I'm kind of 50-50 on. I just want to watch it and see how I feel. But the last 11 episodes, I'm definitely reviewing. When it comes to the new series, I'm a little unsure if I'm going to continue my reviews. I haven't decided. Earlier on with Journeys, I decided to see Journeys through the end. We'll see about the new series, and at the least, I might just do like a review on the very first episode, and then we'll go from there. But that is something to be decided in the future. I mean, since streaming has been kind of a bigger thing on the channel lately, I was thinking maybe it was the right time to transition over to that, but